right now.
A new kind of league is debuting this year. Your favorite Rocket League stars and some new faces put it all on the line in order to win the championship. Join the league as a player. Get recruited. Get paid for your efforts and drive your team to glory. Or how about buying a team? Put together the ultimate roster and trade your way to success. You can tune into our shows on Twitch and control what happens next on the Slips platform. It's all happening this year, and we're giving away 50,000 SLCC tokens and a $700 million airdrop. Join us. Check out slips.gg for more information.
Hello, everybody. My name is Maximilian Thor von Neumann. You all may call me Formal Casting or Formal. However, because Formal Casting is really just what my parents call me, I'm joined by the lovely ABK. I'm assuming he's lovely as we have just met 20 minutes ago, but that's A-okay because today we're going to be bringing you the start of the Slips Series Championships. It's 3v3s. It's the sixth time this has happened, so this is henceforth tournament number 6, and we will be bringing you every single quarterfinal, every single semifinal, and of course that grand final in one massive stream today. ABK, how are you feeling?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
You know, I'm still waking up. I'm not going to sugarcoat this one. For those of you not in the know, I'm actually in Brisbane, Australia. It's still 9 in the morning. I just woke up and I'm getting straight into the Rocket League. And really, what better way to sort of kick off a wonderful Sunday morning?
Absolutely. And, days are running into each other now since we've all been stuck at home, at least on the this side of the pond. So it's great to get into it. Looking forward to some good Rocket League action.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for this one. All these teams have some fairly high-ranking players, so I am going to be coming into this with some pretty high expectations, starting, of course, with our first match, which is going to consist of Zero Empathy taking on the Spicy Spooners. Following that, we will have Didn't Ask versus Take Flight, Nickel Gamers versus Only Dubs, and then our final quarterfinal match is going to be Triple Commit versus Team Flux. Now, this is a single elimination. So if these teams aren't able to perform with these opening best of threes, well, they're just going to have a pretty short night, as a matter of fact. And from there, semifinals as well will be a best of 3. Our grand final will be a best of 5. Every series will be streamed. So we're just going to hopefully start flying through these. Players are starting to come onto this pitch right now. Having a look at these teams already, do you have any sort of favorites in this tournament that you're expecting to rise up? Or is this going to be, almost like completely blind, anything can happen?
Well, I always tend to think that, one of the things that's been consistent over the course of these Slips tournaments is that anything can happen. But Nickel Gamers tend to put on a good show, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if they can sustain that sort of special character that they've had so far.
Yeah, I mean, that would be exciting to see. Consistency is one of those traits that are very valuable for any sort of budding Rocket League team. If you're able to consistently put out good results, if you're consistently able to work together as a team, well, then you can go far. That's how you build your brand. That's how you build your name. And that is something that Slips is all about, getting your name brand out there, just really stepping up and showing who you are, your personality, be it through, social medias or even how you play on the pitch. So excited to see what Nickel Gaming can do. But looking at the match at hand, Zero Empathy versus Spicy Spooners. Again, I haven't had the privilege of seeing these teams play before. In fact, I believe this is Spicy Spooners' first time in this tournament, or actually, I think I got confused. I believe it's Zero Empathy's first time. My apologies right there. Either way, these are two teams that we haven't seen too much of in the past, but just looking at their sort of rosters, do you have any expectations for these two coming in?
Well, again, same thing on my end. This is actually new for me. These two teams are brand new, fresh, and I'm actually really excited to see what they can do, what kind of style of play they put on. So really look forward to jumping right into this match coming up.
Yeah, so am I. And you're going to have to put up with my references and throwbacks, I suppose, to OCE meta and style of Rocket League. That's just a bit more what I'm accustomed to. And how we play Rocket League down here, usually it's what is defense? That's not required. Send 2 people down the pitch, send 3 people down the pitch. Let's just constantly attack tight offensive rotations, usually in the opponent's box. And if they punish us, well, good for them. Either way, though, it looks like the cars are loading onto the pitch. We are about to kick this tournament off. So everyone in that Twitch chat, I hope you're hype. I hope you're excited because we have our match between Zero Empathy and the Spicy Spooners. As you can see right there, opening kickoff actually going to be going very confidently in the Spicy Spooners' way. They were able to establish that early pressure, and it took 2 or 3 shots on target, but I believe it was the second man, Lottie Lettuce, who's able to bang that first goal of the day.
Yeah, within 8 seconds, so it could be a high-scoring affair. Let's see.
Opening kickoffs, I mean, it always is a feel-good moment for your team. And again, another kickoff where we're seeing Lottie Lettuce actually establish some early pressure. However, this time Kona able to get a quick little intercept, sort of a cheeky play on the wall right there. So now we do get to see a little bit of what Zero Empathy has to offer, but the slow solo play will be quickly interrupted past to Kona to try to kill this midfield line, and it's actually a nice pass to Sir.exe, who gets the tap over the top. LJ trying to play through the corner, won't be able to get it past Matt, who's going to go again for a solo play down the pitch. And I'm noticing already both these teams are very reliant on the solo plays to sort of break these offensive rotations.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of volleying in the air going on in the midfield here. So definitely a good aggressive attacking. Like to see that out of both teams for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. A bit of ping pong, slowing the pace of the game down. And you'll typically see that, I feel, in a lot of game ones, just slowing down that pace, trying to get your rotations down, especially when you're still trying to warm up, still trying to synergize with the rest of your team. As we see right now, that's actually a very deep pass, but it does get the ball back to the blue side of the pitch. Taki tries to steal the ball away from LJ, does buy enough time for Lottie Lettuce to try and set up a backboard play, but the defense able to make that read. Sir.exe in particular actually has the space to go ahead and collect the boost and then dribble it straight over the top. And very, very slow reaction coming from the Spicy Spooners might open the door right now for Zero Empathy as they're trying to set up their shot. Good bump from LJ to buy Kona some time. Sir.exe will try to play through the corner, needs one more touch, gets it towards the box. Kona is there, but not enough power on the setup. Does mean Lottie Lettuce will be able to steal it away and try and mount that counterattack.
Much more defensive than I expected thus far after that first start. But like you said, you know, I guess it's not a real great indicator right off the bat. Whenever there's one goal scored, everybody's sort of just getting in the swing of things, and everybody's sort of probably kind of get their idea about Zero Empathy as a team, since there's not a lot of background film from the Slips tournaments in the past.
Yeah, that's very much could be the case right now, as LJ off of that save is looking to take the distance himself. Lottie Lettuce last second stealing that goal away with a clean slave, but at the moment, just not really too much, again, offensive pressure. And something that I'm noticing is actually the amount of spacing each team seems to be giving each other. There's a lot of room for these teams to work with. Nobody's really trying to make those tight offensive rotations to sort of cut off any semblance of a counterattack. They're sort of letting their opponents play and then reacting to it. Sir.exe nearly able to get the dribble in. Kona on the fall through, not going to find it, and Lottie Lettuce does make the save. Great patient defense actually coming out of Spicy Spooners as the rest of the team just sits patiently in the box. As a result, they should be attacking here with a fair bit of boost, a fair bit of juice to work with. But again, strong defensive play, patient defensive play coming from both teams does enable that counterattack. And eventually, I feel like one of these teams, they're going to have to start to get a bit more aggressive with their offensive rotations, trying to cut off these booming defensive clears before they really get moving. That could turn out to be the difference in this game.
Yeah, I definitely think that both teams probably need to tighten up a little bit, work together. It seems like there's a lot more action going on individually here, chasing the ball and sort of just trying to bat it out, which makes for great, spectacular volleys, but not necessarily, great aggressive attack.
But what I find interesting as well is, in particular with Spicy Spooners, scary situation for them actually, although they are able to get a save for now. Spicy Spooners have been able to get some pass plays through on their defensive side of the pitch, but they haven't turned that into offensive pressure. It's just sort of been using pass plays to get clears, and I want to see them do that a bit further down to open up perhaps more goals for them. However, Sir.exe does let the ball get behind him, and Matt Rochi is there to punish. Pass down to Lottie Lettuce, shot on not quite on target, so 1 minute remaining, still a 1-0 scoreline in what has been a interesting game. I think a very generous game for both these teams with the space given to him. Shot a little bit high, top crossbar. Gets the MVP right there for the save. And 47 seconds to go. This 1-0 scoreline might hold through.
Yeah, quite a few near misses here on the goals, absolutely. And, you know, it just seems like just sort of tone it down a little bit, get a little bit more accurate. Could be a much more high-scoring affair next time around. Ooh.
Sir Doc's EXE just does it all himself. He gets the pass set up from by LJ, but Sir Doc.exe, he's going to go ahead and get the demo himself to open up the pathway for his own shot. Usually when that happens, it's the other order. You go shot, then demo, but Sir Doc.exe, he's going to bend the game to his will. We are tied with 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it could have been maybe listening to me at the moment, got a little bit angry there and just capitalized on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a actual fantastic goal right there. Again, more of a solo play than perhaps a team play. Yes, LJ did drop it into the box, but really he didn't have to do too much to set that up. So two very solo-focused teams I've noticed with how they're attacking the ball right now. And while that can be strong, sometimes you need that little bit more. Nearly see it right there. However, the defense is able to make a save. That ball is lobbing towards the net just a little bit short, and we have overtime.
Literally the last second affair here.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been fantastic had that got in. Instead, though, we are opening ourselves up with the overtime, and Sir.exe nearly gets the dribble all the way through himself. Not going to find the net just yet. Still, we are watching an attack coming from Zero Empathy. That's a bit of an awkward miss out of one Kona, who I have to admit has actually been kind of silent for this blue side right now. I'd like to see him step up a little bit more and ride to Sir as well as LJ's level. That said, offensive pressure coming from Matt Roche, trying to pass it to Taki. He doesn't connect, but Lottie Lettuce is able to, doesn't get the bang he's looking for, and Kona does get his name on the save stat at least. Still offensive pressure coming from this overside. Lottie Lettuce, you gotta commit for that shot. He is able to steal the boost away, so that should give a bit more time for the defense to rotate back. Matt Roche actually going for that mid-pitch intercept. I want to see more of those. Nearly puts the shot on target, but Lottie Lettuce isn't able to steal the ball away from LJ.
Absolutely, really tight in the middle of the field there. Lots of aggressive shots over the middle, which I really like to see. This is what we were talking about earlier in the match.
Yeah, I mean, that is what I want to see more of, especially moving forward. Kona has an opening, but Taki is able to get the height required for that save, but that's not going to stop the attack. LJ actually passing to a teammate, but the shot's a little bit wide to the left, so still more pressure being put against the Spicy Spooners. Third man has to make the save, but that's actually a big bang of a clear. Good job by Kona to drop it to the corner where Sir is waiting. Again, a solo play going for the cross-pitch dribble will be easily caught by Lottie Lettuce. Kona able to keep the pressure from underneath, but Lottie Lettuce with his positioning was able to still challenge. Unfortunately for him, he loses out. No ground pitch allowed as Matt Roche steals that one away. So LJ gonna do what he can, but it's just more aerial dribbles. That seems to be the only play in the book for Zero Empathy, and it's working. Or is it Lottie Lettuce has a chance, not quite fast enough on the breakaway?
Yeah, one of the things I'd like to see out of both teams perhaps going forward is a little bit more anticipation. It seems like there's definitely a lot of, like, you know, trying to set up.
Oh, sorry to cut you off, but that's going to do it for game number one. Again, it's a bit of a pass this time to set up an amazing double touch out of LJ, and that's going to be the game ending in overtime. Zero Empathy take game number one of this best of three. So it does come down, I guess, you know, there was a pass play setup there. It still kind of feels like a solo play. Double touches just always innately have that wow factor. It's like, oh, he did it all himself. But we did see the pass on the defensive side of the ball for Zero Empathy, and that kind of gave LJ, I feel like, a bit more space to work with to set up that double touch as well on the Spicy Spooners side. It did almost feel like they were starting to get a little bit too aggressive. They were pushing a little bit too far forward, which sort of opened the door straight down the middle for Zero Empathy to punish.
Yeah, and I mean, if you'll notice from the stats from the last match, there's just a low amount of assists. And I think that one of the things that they probably want to do is, you know, each team, both of them need to, you know, work on the tandem moves, trying to get the ball down and setting up each other instead of trying to do these solo goals. But definitely a good match to start off the tournament. Looking forward to seeing the next one coming up here in a minute.
I'm not sure you can see this right now, but there's a cat trying to jump into my lap, hence why the hand was kind of getting raised and was confused what's going on. We might get a cat cam going a little bit later in one of these death segments. Either way, though, we are continuing with our best of 3 series already. Zero Empathy have that 1-game lead as they're looking to get this with a nice clean 2-0 sweep now. Another stat which I found interesting was actually the amount of shots taken by this blue side. In particular, Sir.exe put 7 shots on target, yet only found 1 goal. If he's able to get a bit more accurate with these shots, I think that could be fantastic for the team. But you have to remember, a lot of these shots were solo dribbles that were actually quite easy to defend because they weren't necessarily the fastest plays in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And, as the tournament advances, both teams are going to have to be aware of that no matter what happens, because some of these teams coming up definitely have a lot less of the independent streak in there.
Yep. As a right away, Sir.exe, well, he does get one of those shots more on target. It's not a dribble. It's a pass play straight down the center. And this is looking very, very strong for Zero Empathy, picking up right where they left off after that overtime, finding a good goal. And even off the kickoff, they're looking to keep this momentum going. LJ, a backboard setup. It looks to be a double touch attempt. Sir.exe, though, was waiting just outside the box. His shot will be saved by Lottie Lettuce, who's going to try to find that counterattack. But we're starting to see a bit more snug offense coming from that blue side. They're starting to challenge more in the middle of the pitch, recognizing that, hey, maybe giving up so much space probably isn't the right idea. We'll get more shots if we force more shots, and Sir.exe with the spike makes it 2-0.
Yeah, and it seems like Zero Empathy here is just gelling a lot, as perhaps just shaking off the rust of that initial match, just getting everything going, and it looks like they're, starting to have a lot more chemistry all together here.
Yeah, and that's sometimes, the first team to adapt, especially in a best of 3, will most likely take that series, and the pressure is just really being put on the Spicy Spooners right now to sort of turn their fortune around. And that's going to start, I feel, with, I suppose, tighter defense, just getting better touches on the ball to break these offensive rotations, something that they've been lacking. However, Tacky looking to do just that. But with Sir.exe actually playing a bit further back, it is going to be a bit tougher to break these rotations, and another spike from Sir.exe gets in the hat track, gives his team that 3-0 lead.
A lot of time left on the clock here, but definitely Zero Empathy threatening to run away with this thing today.
Yeah, this has just been a fantastic start for this blue side. And, if you are a fan right now of Zero Empathy, I think it's time to start maybe relaxing a little bit. Obviously, there still is more than half of this game to go. One of the pitfalls, perhaps, of getting an early lead. However, I'm getting more and more concerned for the Spicy Spooners. It does look as if their defense has completely broken down at times. They've let a few passes just go straight across the box down the middle. Perhaps some demos will vent that frustration and kind of get momentum kicking for them. But we're still looking at that Zero Empathy attack, living up to that name, showing Zero Empathy, a double commit on the clear attempt. Doesn't get too punished. Sir.exe throwing back to the opposite corner. Kona actually trying to catch that for a redirect. We'll pass it back to LJ. Shots on target, but that's a big save by Matt Roche.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the things that you can fall prey to is when you get down by 3 scores like this, you can just sort of stop playing together and start taking riskier shots. And I think that Spicy Spooners, the best thing they can do is try to move it down the field together as a team, work on it together, and try to not succumb to these faults.
That was one of the weakest pinches I think I've ever seen. However, they went for it, and it's always risky to go for sort of pinch clears in your own box. So I suppose that's good to see. And they did connect on it from Zero Empathy, but yeah, that I don't know why there wasn't more power behind that. Either way, this is the sort of longest we've seen a sustained attack coming from Spicy Spooners, and Caster cursing it. They immediately lose possession in a sense of the ball. Why? LJ actually getting some demos. Taki trying to go for the slow dribble play, does get it past the defense, however, is unable to maintain possession in doing so. Taki, that's a great pass, but where is the spacing? You saw the rest of his team was directly behind him, not in a position to catch that pass, and that's a complete breakdown. That's what you see when you're just trying to solo climb ladder, and it really feels as if Spicy Spooners have kind of fallen apart right now.
Yeah, you got to wonder if maybe this is sort of a new team, sort of having to work out each other's styles at this point. Zero Empathy definitely has taken control over the team aspect of this game here.
Yeah, they have, and it's unfortunate, but it does look like ball chasing, breaking down fundamentals. It's Spicy Spooners. They just kind of lost that competitive edge that we may have seen in that first game. 1.5 minutes remaining. There still is time to bring it back, but they need something big to go their way. Taki cheating very far forward. Lottie Lettuce's shot is somehow saved by Sir.exe, who has been an absolute monster this game, I must say. Has the hat trick, has some clutch saves. He's just playing phenomenally right now.
Yeah, Sir.exe has definitely shown up in this second game for sure. You know, absolutely, been a dominant presence on Twitch.
Yeah, and I think he is going to be a name to watch as this tournament continues, because everything does seem to be coming up in favor of this blue side. No mercy being given. Zero empathy, one might say, being shown towards the Spicy Spooners, as with 45 seconds left, a 3-goal differential, and no offensive pressure to speak of, it's looking more and more secured that we're going to be seeing zero empathy in our semifinals.
Absolutely, and as it winds down here, probably not enough time for Spicy Spooners to make a comeback here in this last game. So, tip my cap to Zero Empathy for just controlling it in and out for the whole 5 minutes.
Yeah, as 18 seconds remaining. We might see something special right now. Teams should be realizing this game's probably over. Maybe they'll go for something special, get one of those highlight plays past the Sir.exe. Will be intercepted by Matt Roche. 5 seconds to go. Last chance to get something on the board for Spicy Spooners. They're going to put a shot on target, but LJ, living up to his team's name, Matt Roche, can't quite get the angle, and Zero Empathy take our first quarterfinals with a nice 2-0 sweep.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely came in on their strategy there at the end. I think that if you're Zero Empathy, you saw a little bit of what would make you successful down the line. I think definitely leaning on your big players, but also just, capitalizing on that teamwork is really important, especially whenever some of these more experienced teams.
Yeah, definitely will be the case. Either way, well-fought game. Sir.exe, by far, in my eyes, the MVP of that series. He made so many solo clears. He hit so many shots on target, especially in game number 1. I believe it was 7. Then game 2, he gets the hat trick. So he will be a player to watch out for sure moving forward. But speaking of moving forward, we start to look ahead to our next matchup. That's going to be Don't Ask taking on Take Flight now. Again, another situation where, unfortunately, not too familiar with these teams. We're going to kind of be learning about them as we go. However, going based off those names, if Take Flight doesn't have, a strong aerial game, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely. There should be a ticket put in for them to have to change the name. There better be some very strong air control going on in this next match. You got to earn that.
Exactly. I have very high expectations of them in this one. That said, looking forward as well, you also have the side of Didn't Ask, and looking real quick at that lineup, some strong players actually across the board right now. I'm looking at Desi, I'm looking at Process, and I'm going to have high expectations for these two, each of them with above an 1800 MMR.
It's definitely really cool to have some new, fresh blood and fresh talent in this tournament as well. You're seeing some new teams here in tournament series number 6, which always makes it exciting here, to see all of the new teams that are coming to Slips and checking out, what we have to offer.
Yeah, exactly. And when you look about and talk about Didn't Ask, I mean, they are the defending champs, so they're not really that new, I would say. I don't know, winning Series 5 maybe gets a bit more weight to them. As a result, I think I will be leaning for these guys actually to take that win. Again, I'm looking at the play of the two players I just mentioned. Obviously, when you're that high elo, when you're experienced with this team, I'm expecting that synergy to be there. I want to see more tight passes than what we saw in this first series as well, especially coming from this Didn't Ask side.
Yeah, we can't, teams can't get bogged down in chasing the ball down the field. Definitely the only way you can keep going in this tournament is to work together. And I think that we'll see a lot more teamwork in this match coming up.
I do have to agree. I'm sort of hoping for it. Now, Take Flight, again, last season, season 5, they did make it to the quarterfinals. Unfortunately, that is where their journey ended. So they're going to be looking to go a little bit further. Ghost, in particular, is the player who I'm hoping is going to be able to match the speed of Didn't Ask. He's going to be one to watch out for. That said, the people backing him up aren't bad either. It's going to be a tough match for sure. Now, Didn't Ask will be on the blue side. Take Flight will be on orange. Last chance prediction. Who do you think takes this?
I think I'm going to go with Didn't Ask. I'm going to go with Didn't Ask on this one. How about you, Formal?
Look, they're the defending champion team for the reason, right? I'm kind of feeling the same. I don't know. Take Flight. I think they win the better name game, and that means a lot to me. Like having a proper name, it's important. But The thing is, if I'm looking at all the teams in this tournament, yeah, Take Flight's name is good. I don't think it's the best. I'll spoil that later a bit more when we get to them. However, yeah, I'm kind of with you. Didn't ask. They're defending champs. I'm almost kind of predicting them to take this entire tournament, to be quite honest. Maybe that's because I'm lazy. I don't know. Something results-based analysis. But until you are knocked off of being that number one team in my eyes, I'm going to be looking at you like, okay, you won last time, you should win again. So I'm really excited to see what Didn't Ask can bring to the pitch.
Absolutely. Looks like some getting the lobby set up here. Working on getting everybody in.
Yeah, I do believe we will be kicking off very, very soon. So hopefully they do kick it off. Now, fun fact, as I was mentioning before, these two teams did play. Back in season 5, this was the quarterfinal match, which unfortunately saw Take Flight bow out quite early. They're going to be looking for that redemption for sure. Unfortunately for them, I guess ABK and I perhaps are cynics in thinking that might not happen. But if you're a fan of, Don't Ask, well, then we're your best friends right now, especially myself, because I said they're going to go all the way. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I mean, look, sometimes things repeat, sometimes fortunes chain. Either way, players are jumping into the pitch right now. We will be kicking off very, very soon. I want to see some of that support. When I look over here, you guys, this isn't me looking away because I'm camera shy or anything. This is just me looking at that Twitch chat, me saying hi to you guys. So hello there. I see the Doritos. I see the Kappa faces. So I want to see some cheers. I want to see some chants. I want to see you guys get excited for this next quarterfinal matchup. Look, I'm not on a lot of sleep right now, okay? It's still morning time in Queensland, and I'm relying on that energy from the Twitch chat to wake me up, keep this hype going. That's what we want to see. So I'm ready to kick this off. I think the players are about ready to kick this thing off. So any moment now, we will be underway with quarterfinal number 2. Not quite yet. You're going to have to put up with me dancing if we don't get this going. That's all I'm saying. You don't want to see me dance. It's a bad time for everyone involved, especially tired dance, because then you get woo, Rocket League. Yeah, no, we don't want that. We want gameplay. All right. Look, ABK, I'm not going to lie. This is the first time we've met. This is the first time we've interacted. Why don't we tell us about ourselves a little bit? Like, I don't know. What are your hobbies outside of the Rocket League?
Well, I do a DJ program on Friday nights down here in Arizona, which is where I'm from. I'm also a sociologist by trade. What about you?
Arizona. That is one of the few places warmer than Queensland. And guess what? I'm going to stay a mystery because the cars are loading onto the pitch. So, yeah, I get to be the mysterious formal right now. Either way, more important action. It's quarterfinal time. Quarterfinal number 2, to be exact. Cars have kicked off once again on the blue side. It is Didn't Ask. On the orange side, it is Take Flight. And right away, both these teams kind of getting the feel out for each other. Zero going for that solo play straight down the middle, does set up, dripped on Desi, is an awkward clear, and that's going to be the first goal actually going to the Didn't Ask side.
Yeah, kind of a similar start to the last, like the same start that we had the last match. Quick scoring. Let's see if it plays out the same way, but I anticipate a little bit more of a high scoring affair this time.
Yeah, absolutely. So a 1-0 lead at the moment for the defending champs. Ghost off that kickoff, puts a shot on target, but save will be made. Now, I have to notice that FSU tag. I'm assuming this is someone from Florida State. So, I don't know. Arizona's close enough for the West Coast. I hope you don't mind some East Coast players perhaps stepping up and showing it off what they can do. But it still is Didn't Ask establishing that early pressure. Again, a solo clear attempt into the bump. And it's going to be a 1-1 scoreline as Juzo gets the second goal of the game.
Absolutely. Just driving it down there, too.
Yeah, he took it the distance in this instance. So 1-1 scoreline at the moment. Kickoff actually could be very good for Didn't Ask if Process can get to the ball, gets the reset, but can't connect on the flip. Very cheeky play right there. Unfortunately, unable to pull it off. And now we're seeing a small counterattack. Blez, the only one really pushing forward right now, is again, more passive play, more teams relying on solo and individual efforts. And I don't know, is that just the NA meta? You're going to have to answer that one for me.
I am really surprised, however, how much ground game's going on, for having the team Take Flight. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of volleys going on. It seems like a lot of skirmishes going on the ground.
Yeah, I do have to agree. It didn't ask actually seems to be that team more willing to throw those passes in the air to get up high, keep that momentum. That's a huge demo from Ghost, however, and Juzo will be able to get the second goal, his second goal now, I suppose, of the game.
Yeah, definitely in the right place at the right time there. And then the demo right in the middle before the score.
Now, look, slightly off topic, non sequitur right there, but just having a look at Juso's avatar picture and his banner, you don't happen to think this guy is maybe a little bit of an anime fan? I don't know. What I do know is he is able to play some Rocket League right now. Ghost trying to play through the corner right now, will be challenged and actually loses out to Process, who's going to drop the ball right into Drip's lap, but Drip can't connect with the ball. Awkward play right there, Zero somehow finding himself down as well. He was cheating very aggressively, and that's going to open the door for the counterattack. Juzo, yet again, trying to set something up, but it will be caught by Process up above, trying to drop it down, but it lands right in Blez's lap. Not a good touch from Dripped on Desi. He's going to have to recover, but he uses all of his boost in doing so. And what I'm noticing pretty much is actually the more consistent team so far has been Take Flight. They've been getting better defensive touches and have been allowing themselves to have more sustained attacks. I'm actually a little bit concerned right now for the Didn't Ask side. They seem to be struggling at times, but that pass is too fast and too clean. So Caster Curse, almost certainly, once again, we are tied.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, right before I said this, I was going to say that Dinesk is going to have to figure out an answer to Juzo, who just seems to be all over the field right there. And lo and behold, who was right next to that Process right when he scored?
Yeah, I mean, that pass was just so low to the ground, and I think that's probably what Didn't Ask going to have to rely on. I mean, going for these lob passes, yes, they're more accurate, but they're also slower, and that's really been giving enough time until that point for Take Flight to sort of react to it and set up their own clears and set up their own plays on the way back. By going for that sort of missile pass and actually connecting on it, it just gives much less reaction time, and that was the catalyst for that second goal. So, tie game, 2 minutes, 16 seconds remaining. I have to admit, I'm very impressed with how even these two teams are. I definitely am getting that sense of revenge, that grudge match feel, as these two teams familiar with each other, have played before. In fact, it was tournament number 5 where they did face in that quarterfinals Process. Again, going for a pass to Dripped on Desi. Can't get the touch he's looking for. Ghost in position to try and punish, but Process is there with the dunk and with the goal.
Yeah, that was an excellent outside shot there, too. You know, just shooting it with perfect angle. Ghost right there to grab it right off the wall, but missed it.
Yeah, that was very well played by Process. I can't tell if that's supposed to be a happy face or an unhappy face. I think it's going to be leading more towards the happy face right now because his team does have that 1-goal lead with just 2 minutes remaining. Shot on target by Blez, but not quite going to hit that mark, so let's see what they can do. Ghost puts one on target, Dripped on Desi, has to recover. Let's see if they can tighten up these offensive rotations, get some more pressure. Not quite going to be the case as Juzo actually lets it get behind him. Where's the punish? Very slow reaction, but it doesn't matter because it's an accurate 1-0. Can't quite get the touch needed for the goal. And now here comes that counterattack. What was Dripped on Desi doing? He pushes way too far along the corridor and nearly gives up the goal. Fortunately, Process is able to make that save, but still, more pressure coming from this Take Flight side. Ghost doesn't commit for the ball. Instead, tries to rotate back on defense, and it just feels like Take Flight is lacking that aggressive edge to push forward and punish when those opportunities arise.
Yeah, I mean, aside from Juzo, who's just sort of been all over the place, it seems like there's a lack of defined role for the other two in this match right now. I think that, you know, going forward, they're going to have to find a way to get the other players in the team a little bit more involved.
Yeah, I do agree, but I mean, I feel like the other players are going to have to want to be involved. I mean, so many times I can see them press forward and look to challenge, maybe even win the challenge, but instead they're opting to fall back and play defensively and play safe. And while playing safe, yeah, sometimes can make you a bit more consistent. You're down right now. You need to make those plays. You need to actually get in your opponent's face if you want to come back in this one. However, at the moment, it is looking more like Didn't Ask might be able to set up yet another goal to possibly finish this game on off. Zero in position, but will be challenged and loses out to Ghost. He's going to try to play through the corner, Dripped on Desi with the ball. Actually loses out to Blez, and this could be the start of the counterattack this orange side needs. Not quite. I have noticed the offense has pulled back a little bit from this Didn't Ask side. They are playing more conservatively with deeper rotations, and that's just going to be so much harder to crack. Process somehow finds a gap as well, and that 4-2 scoreline will most likely be our final one in game number 1.
Yeah, absolutely, and that won't tell an accurate story. I mean, this is a hard-fought match all around for both teams, and I think that, you know, it's more about consistency for Take Flight going forward, for sure. There is a good level of competition going on between both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. However, I do have to admit, I am a bigger fan, I suppose, of Didn't Ask's playstyle. They're more willing to push forward. They're more willing to challenge. Nice, 0-second goal as well as Dripped on Desi makes it 5-2 instead of 4-2, as you're saying. A little bit of that garbage time goal. I think they got some space to play with. I believe it would be sorry if I get this code preference wrong, but it's Shannon Sharp. He'd call those empty calorie goals. I feel like that's exactly what that one would be, right there. But Didn't Ask, still feasting quite well. They take game number one with a 5-2 scoreline.
So Formal, if you're take flight right now, what do you think you need to do to really capitalize on this second match?
I mean, look, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but challenge for the ball more. I feel like, especially towards the second half of that game, there were times where they could have pushed forward. They could have gone for some 50-50s, but instead they opted to roll back, play defensively. And that just gave more opportunities to Didn't Ask, unfortunately, who were then even able to find gaps in those sort of deep rotations. Sometimes it was a case of hesitation as well, where there'd be a member of Take Flight kind of stuck in no man's land. He'd offer the defense positioning, but he would do so too late, and the ball would sail overhead. I, they just need to get more aggressive, straight up challenge. Try and take the fight to Didn't Ask. Play a little bit more high risk, high reward, perhaps. I don't know. That's my take. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was going to echo that. I think that, one of the keys to success here for Take Flight is going to be more adaptability. That defensive strategy worked well early on, it set up some chances for them, but then it seemed like Didn't Ask really just started to figure out, adapted their strategy, and they had no answer for it. So finding a way to be a little bit more flexible, coming up with a couple ways to spread out the ball a little bit more would be helpful, I think, for Take Flight here to try to capitalize on this second match going forward.
Yeah, and maybe get stronger defensive touches as well. Don't rely on the solo play to push it through. Yes, it did give Juzo a couple goals early in that game, but as soon as it felt like Didn't Ask was aware, okay, these guys are just going to try slow dribble it down every single time. They were the team that started getting more proactive on, I suppose, their offensive rotations. They started getting those dunks very deep into the orange side of the pitch, and that just enabled more offense. That's a lot of where those empty calorie goals actually came from. If that's a trend that continues, this game actually could look very, very poorly for Take Flight. However, I do fully expect them to adapt and change their gameplay up. It's very rare that when a team loses 5-2, they play the same facet game number two. Ghost is going to be the first one to really get that opportunity. Does be processed out for the ball, and that's what I mean. Going for plays like that, trying to risk those 50-50s, even if you're that third man, sometimes it can create those opportunities, and Ghost might have it right now. Good save by Dripped on Desi, but Blez is still back. He's going to put that ball back on target. Defense in the box should be able to react. They're going to throw it to the corner. Dripped on Desi was able to get that corner boost as well, I believe, and he'll play it off the wall. Backboard setup, Zero a little bit too far to the right, means he's unable to get a clean shot on target.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more aggressive here from Take Flight right in the start. So, one of the things you can't really let yourself do is just, get down after that first match. And it's nice to see them coming out here and try to play a more aggressive game, exactly like you had said they really need to do.
Absolutely, as Process trying to air dribble it down the center right now. Dripped on Desi with the follow through, challenged out and losing to Bless. And yet we're seeing more of these challenge, more of these 50-50s, and shock and awe, Take Flight actually winning some of them, and they're having more success this time around. Now, they haven't been able to turn that into a goal just yet. In fact, they're still on the defensive side of the pitch, but I'm liking this Take Flight a lot more than what we saw in game number one. Still, though, Zero able to get the dunk, able to muscle that ball forward. Can't quite find the net. Dripped on Desi, past the Process, shot on target, but it's a patient play by Ghost, able to make the save. Juzo trying to find that clear, but Dripped on Desi able to catch it. Process pushing up, trying to set himself up through the corner. It's actually a pass, but Bless able to challenge, and he gets a fantastic touch. Zero able to react, and almost gets the reset as well. Process kind of getting in his own teammate's way. Pass to Juzo in the corner. This could be very good for Take Flight. Zero going to beat Blez, though, to the ball. Ghost, the third man, puts a banger. It's off the backboard. Process able to read it.
Yeah, Juzo so far has been able to really, control the middle of the field here, but it just seems like he keeps getting lost up in front. More defensive strategy from Didn't Ask this time around.
Yeah, that is the case for sure. Moving forward, Ghost throwing the ball back to the middle of the pitch. Shot going to come off the backboard. Water falling down, and Ghost is able to tap that one in. Great waterfall setup coming from, I believe, that was Blez, positioned perfectly. It was a bit too tough of a read for Zero to make, and we're looking at a 1-0 scoreline.
Yeah, that was set up perfectly, too. The perfect assist on the edge there to bring it over into the middle and drop it right in there for Ghost.
So 1-0, and as I said before, I'm liking this take flight a lot more, and all of a sudden, it's up to Dripped on Desi to make the plays happen. That's okay, though. He's living up to that Dignitas card name as he makes it, and Drew gets it done. Wonderful backboard setup to himself. Ghost not quite in the right spot to make that save, and just like that, all that momentum from take flight kind of takes flight and flies away. Once again, we are tied. Kickoff looking very strong at the moment for this blue side. Dripped on Desi, pushing forward, going for the dunk play, and Blez, again, he's still going for the solo plays. He's not going for those pass plays, and we've seen, in game number 1, Didn't Ask, more than happy to challenge and try to get dunks on him. However, Ghost does win a pretty critical 50-50. No one going for the ball. Finally, Dripped on Desi will push forward and take it, passing it to himself. Ball in the middle of the pitch. Ghost pushing forward, gets a fantastic touch. Where's the setup? Take the shot, Ghost. Why are you rotating back to the wall? He's trying to buy time for the pass, but the defense was able to recover. That could have been an opening, and I'm surprised Ghost didn't take it.
Yeah, but at this point, it's probably a good thing because you need to be back there to try to knock it off before a shot attempt and process.
Perhaps at the moment, Ghost again trying to set up a breakaway, but there's always one member deep, it feels like, from Didn't Ask there to get that clear right on back. Zero doesn't have the boost needed to try and bang that one in. He's going to go for one more touch, buying time. Dripped on Desi, could be stuck in no man's land, but instead the ball falls right into his lap. Juso goes up, doesn't get the touch he's looking for, so it'll be stolen away by Dripped on Desi, who can't wrestle possession away, so Blez able to get that clear. 2 defenders on the field right now. Ghost is going to put that shot process, able to make the save in the box. Zero goes up for it, but doesn't beat Juzo to the ball. Unfortunately for Juzo, the shot not quite accurate enough. Pass back to Zero. He's going to put a shot all the way on target. Great fadeaway right there by Ghost to make that save, but Process able to keep the offensive pressure down. Juzo catching the waterfall. No one was there on the other side, however, so he winds up throwing it right back to this blue side. Meatball in the air. Juzo the only one going up for it, but doesn't get the bang. Ghost is going to get challenged and loses out. More offensive pressure coming from this blue side.
Yeah, I was just about to say too. It always seems like Didn't Ask has been trying to take one of their players out of the match in order to play defense, which has the benefit of being able to be there to try to protect, but does take out that aggression. But it seems to be the case.
Oh, that is an unfortunate misplay right there from the Didn't Ask defense. I believe it was Process just whiffing the ball, opening the door for Blez to punch it right on through. 2-1 lead right now for Take Flight as they kind of get lucky right there.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, at this level of play, one mistake can really turn the match around.
Absolutely. And now with 40 seconds remaining, Blez is going to add another goal to that scoreline. And I'm starting to feel like we're going to see a game 3 here in our second quarterfinal.
I think that's probably going to be the case. Adding some insult to injury there, just capitalizing on that quick miss.
Yeah, it's not looking good, I suppose, for Didn't Ask, who are going to need to find, a very quick answer if they want to take this one to overtime or even possibly pull off that crazy win. Dripped on Desi going for the solo play, but no one's there to follow him through. So 25 seconds remaining. Process keeping that pressure on. Ball going to waterfall down into the box, but Blez able to make that read off the backboard. 18 seconds to go. I think we're going to be seeing that game 3. Juzo with a big clear pretty much seals that deal, even gets a demo as well to stop any semblance of a counterattack. Blez looking for goal number 4. Shot's going to come through. Ghost is going to find it. And yeah, 4-1. We're looking at a game number 3 for sure.
So what did you see from Take Flight this time that's really turned things around for them in the second match here?
Again, I think it was that willingness to challenge the ball, especially when on defense, and being able to win some of those. They're able to set themselves up on offense a bit more. Similarly as well, Blez, as an individual player, definitely has stepped up. Some of his touches he's gotten well on defense have absolutely been phenomenal, as well as his backboard reads and plays has been up there. He's not going to get, the quote-unquote MVP of this game, but he was really the MVP for me in this one as a whole. Ghost, though, with his 4 saves, not something to take lightly either. He also stepped up. Pretty much the rest of Take Flight actually rose to Juzo's level in that first game. But yeah,
it's kind of interesting because Juzo actually kind of disappeared a little bit in this match, even though sometimes the most important plays are the ones that you don't actually see. But in this case, it seemed like there was a higher level of play all around from Take Flight in this match.
Yeah, absolutely, and I do have to agree. And for Didn't Ask, I think they got challenged a bit more, and they might not have been expecting it. Everything just felt tougher for them to establish just because of how closer the orange side was playing, how much closer Take Flight was playing against them. And all of a sudden, you know, our defending champs, they're in a bit of danger right now. They are one game away potentially of getting knocked out in this quarterfinal. That redemption storyline, it's coming into effect. So this is going to be a very tense game 3. I do have to feel both these teams have so much to play for right now. It's hard for me to pick a favorite in this one, but based on what I've seen from games 1 and 2, I'm actually still leaning towards Didn't Ask. I know game 2 didn't go their way, but I still feel fundamentally these guys have looked like the faster and the stronger team. And now that they're going to be acknowledging the fact that, okay, Take Flight is going to challenge us, I expect Didn't Ask to be more adept to, I feel, changing their play style, maybe actually going for some more risky passes on their own side of the pitch, but just something to throw off that first challenge, or even tightening their positioning, maybe even creeping up, giving themselves left space just so they're faster to that second touch. These are those little tools that I think will work in Didn't Ask's favor.
Yeah, I think that honestly the key to success here for Didn't Ask is getting back to what they did well in that first match, is exactly what you said. It's you know, taking more risk, not dropping your player out too early to go back and defend, making sure that there's support, and just really being able to capitalize when those chances arise from that aggressive play that are, you know, self-inflicted.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're going to be hoping to see as we are going back to the pitch right now. We will soon be kicking this bad boy off. Love PSYONIX servers. They're always the greatest at wonderful times. You all should know what I'm talking about in this case, but we will be kicking off very, very soon. This is a big game 3. Twitch chat, I'm looking at you right now. Who do you think is going to take this? I know I've said I think it's going to be Didn't Ask, but if you want to flame me for, you know, picking the wrong team, now's your chance. You can't do it after the game because then you have that knowledge, and that's not fair. So if you're going to flame me out right now, do it right now, please. Either way, we will be getting into this one very soon. I'm seeing some people thinking Take Flight. There we go. All right, that makes some sense. I feel it. Look, Take Flight made a very strong argument for themselves in game number 2, and it'd be very exciting to see if they can keep that momentum going. Either way, the cars are on the field. The timer is ticking down. This is game 3 of our second quarterfinal. As we are off and running, Process going to be the first one trying to set himself up, has the boost to get that second touch, and it's going to be accurate. And look, I'm sorry, all you Take Flight fans, but this is the game that Didn't Ask wanted to play. A wonderful solo effort from Process.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's just getting back to that aggressive style of play. That's what works for them. It seems like, you know, as long as, you know, Juzo is not dominating the middle of the field like he normally is, I mean, Didn't Ask can really capitalize on this sort of risky, aggressive style of play.
Also, I love how Hussein is straight up saying Didn't Ask they're just going to get a sneaky Process goal at the end. Well, it's actually a sneaky Process goal at the start right there to get them kicking it off. So maybe it's the beginning of the end. Perhaps that still counts. Either way, we are seeing Take Flight trying to establish some offensive pressure right now, but good patient defense, always keeping at least one car in the box is how, you know, Didn't Ask are going to be looking to absorb this pressure. That's a very strong pass, but Ghost unable to catch it. Good defense from Dripped on Desi to intercept it away. Blez still looking to push it forward, but Dripped on Desi actually saving his boost. He's going to go for a ceiling flick clear. Tried to turn it into a pass to Process, and these passes are looking good, but that little intercept looks even better. No one back on the rotation means we're looking at a tied game.
Yeah, and Blez really just taking care of being on the side there. Right place, right time to be able to lob it right over the top.
So 1-1 score line right now. This game definitely getting very interesting. Tied, just like our series score. Dripped on Desi again off the kickoff. We'll put one on target, but not quite with that same speed that we saw some Process before. Does mean we will have a save come through. Still Didn't Ask, trying to find a way. The third man swings and misses, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Zero, who doesn't have any boost, is able to collect it. Process back as well. Unfortunately, Juzo can't connect on those solo plays that we saw before in game number 1, and it will lead to a counterattack. Dripped on Desi puts that shot a little bit too high. Process trying to follow through, keeps the ball in the air for Zero, who swings and misses. Process, that's an awkward flip, so he's not going to get to the ball in time. Third man Dripped on Desi will be able to get there, as it looks like the defense coming from Take Flight is playing so passive. They're not challenging despite these misses, and that just means more opportunities coming from Didn't Ask. Ball played through the corner. Bless will go up right, and finally buy some time with the clear attempt through the middle. It'll be caught by Zero, but the defense has some breathing room. They should be able to get these boosts. They desperately need it. Blez, the only one able to collect one of them, but he still will be the man who goes for that clear. Passing up to Ghost is challenged, gets the touch. Blez with the fall through, cannot connect on the shot.
Yeah, and one of the things that Take Flight keeps like falling or succumbing to is really just clustering in that defense. There, too many people going after the ball at the same time, not spreading out, which is allowing the Nast to really take advantage of the space in the rest of the field.
Yeah, that does seem to be that recurring trend. Ooh, nice bump by Blez actually to try and steal the ball away. Unfortunately, it was, not a lot of spacing being given by this blue side, so the second man is already there. Blez still trying to do what he can to push the ball forward. It will go to a Juzo clear. Drift on Desi rotating back. Gets a big touch, has the boost to follow through. Pass down to Zero perhaps, but not a very accurate one. Zero was more focused on the recovery than the shot itself. That's why it was a little bit inaccurate. Either way, though, he was able to push it to the backboard. And despite being demoed, we are seeing opportunities right now for this Din Ask side. Blez still stepping up, still being that star of Take Flight. Ghost with the pass to Blez, unable to connect on it. Ghost is going to try to fall through, but it's a fantastic bump from Process, able to stop the attack momentarily. Juzo going again for that solo play, trying to flick it towards the goal, but instead flicks it over it. And now space being given. Perhaps we're going to see that clear. Ghost does step up to challenge, and more offensive pressure coming from this orange side. Pass down to the box. Miss from Dripped on Desi.
Yeah, both teams playing right now like they really don't want this to go into overtime. They want to settle this in this match right here.
Yep. I do agree, and that could have been good. The bump from Zero did open the door, but that angle a little bit too tight for Process. Ghost going to get the clear straight down the middle. However, two members back on defense right now for Didn't Ask. They're fully prepared for the counterattack. Dripped on Desi, going to flick the ball straight over the top shot on target. Ghost able to make that save, but he doesn't get a booming clear. Process is there to punish. That's going to be a waterfall setup. Who's going to take the shot? No one is blessed. Is able to clear it out. A minute 17 remaining, and Ghost is leading the charge. Bless in position to catch that pass. Juzo, though, they're able to follow through in the corner, and what we are witnessing right now is a much more controlled Take Flight team. Their rotations are very standard, but they are working very well, and they've had more consistent attacks. It feels like Blez trying to go for the solo play, does get the demo, but Drift on Desi was able to get that touch, and Juzo swings and misses and leaves poor Ghost on his own on defense. Pass up to Zero. He's unable to connect. Ghost able to make that 2v1 save. A fantastic play, but the pressure is still on. Drift on Desi doesn't get the touch. Juzo able to bounce it away, and with 42 seconds remaining, we're still tied at 1 apiece.
Yeah, Didn't Ask just relentless there. Keep, pushing it back into the box without quitting.
Oh, that bump from Juzo nearly setting up the goal. 30 seconds to go. Dripped on Desi. Nice touch. Juzo able to read it off the backboard, but again, it'll just land right back into Dripped on Desi's lap. Ghost, that's a great touch. That's a pass to Blez. But no, why doesn't he go for the bump? That's okay. Ghost is able to follow through himself, and with 19 seconds remaining, Take Flight get a critical 2-1 lead.
Yeah, and almost a critical mistake there. Ghost always making sure that he followed up on his own path.
My heart was in my stomach when I just see, cars just peel away from the play. 17 seconds remaining, do or die for the defending champs right now. They've got one last chance to make it happen, but the ball is on their side of the pitch. Here we go. Dripped on Desi. Going to throw it to the middle. It's a bit of a meatball, and Josu's going to be the one to catch it. Process pushed himself too far forward. Still able to get to the ball in time. Collects that boost as well. Going up for it, but it's stolen away by Blez. Zero was somehow there on the wall, but he doesn't get the touch he needs, and Take Flight will advance to the semifinals.
Yeah, big comeback there after that first match. I wasn't sure about Take Flight, but they definitely, throughout the match or throughout all 3 matches, really raised the level of the game all around.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it was just a fantastic showing right there for sure. So fantastic game for Take Flight. They, get that monkey off their back. They get their revenge, and they will be advancing to that semifinal. But here on the desk, we keep moving on. Again, it's a best of 3s. They're quick, they're easy, they're fun, and we keep going through them as well. So it's time to look ahead to our next match, which of course is going to be the Nickel Gamers versus Only Dubs. And I'm excited for this one. I know you singled out Nickel Gamers before as kind of one of those teams to watch. Do you feel like they have this one against Only Dubs at this stage?
Well, it's really hard to say early on, but Nickel Gamers has typically been consistent in these tournaments, and I'm definitely looking for more of the same here. Definitely a stronger team that we've seen over the course of this Slips tournament. So, what about you, Foreman? What are you thinking?
I mean, look, they've won this tournament twice before. They want to be that first team to get, the big 3, the triple crown. It's not a three-peat because they didn't win it last season, but that's okay. The winners of last season are now gone, and my eyes kind of turn towards Nickel Gamers as that new favorites for essentially everything. So I'm definitely going to be excited to see what they can do. That said, only dubs. I mean, look, it's a good name. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a dubstep fan, but I am a fan of the dubstep mentality, I suppose, and that sort of YOLO swag, swag, YOLO dub, dab, dab, dab. That's kind of what we're seeing right now. And if they kind of come at this game with that reckless abandonment, they really can take it to the nickel gamers.
Well, I'm glad you anticipated my next question, which was to let us all know what exactly the dubstep mentality is there. But I think we all got a very clear idea.
Yeah, look, if it's not obvious, I'm not a big proponent of the dubstep mentality. That's not really my style. And don't expect a repeat of that. That what you just saw right there is never happening again. That was a one time only deal. As we still are going to be hopefully kicking off this one very shortly. Now, I am enjoying this tournament thus far. Again, comparing it to, I suppose, that OCE style, I'm still very surprised how passive a lot of these teams play. How they're not willing to challenge as much, especially on offense. Again, OCE, we're kind of known for taking risky challenges at times. We love our tight infield rotations. We love, not giving our opponents any space whatsoever. Where what I've been noticing so far in this tournament, spacing not as big as a concern. We'll let our opponents set up for us. It's more important that we have members back on defense able to get those clears, able to get those saves, and then we'll actually look to go maybe for a more solo push down the pitch. Is that something that you think is going to be a recurring thread in this tournament? Is that just that NA playstyle that I'm learning about right now? Or is this a bit unusual and teams are still just kind of warming up?
It could be a case of both, but I think we will be sending us into a break here before this next match. So I want everybody to stay tuned for more Slips action coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
A new kind of league is debuting this year. Your favorite Rocket League stars and some new faces put it all on the line in order to win the championship. Join the league as a player, get recruited, get paid for your efforts, and drive your team to glory. Or how about buying a team? Put together the ultimate roster and trade your way to success. You can tune into our shows on Twitch and control what happens next on the Slips platform. It's all happening this year, and we're giving away 50,000 SLCC tokens and a $700 million airdrop. Join us. Check out slips.gg for more information.
Okay, so are you gonna see him again?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Well, we hit it off at first, but his jokes were pretty corny. But he was just so charming. I don't know. I went home with him and things were getting spicy.
Well, sounds like a pretty good night to me, girl.
Oh my god, shut up, let me finish.
Oh my god.
Don't get cock blocked by the squirrel in your pants. Trim your unruly bush with the new Lawnmower 3.0.
5, 4, 3, 2, that's time. I got to you.
Don't hack away at your family jewels. The Lawnmower 3.0 is designed to prune your plums without giving you cuts and nicks. There's no need to bludgeon your sack with a nasty old razor with Manscaped.com. A new kind of league is debuting this year. Your favorite Rocket League stars and some new faces put it all on the line in order to win the championship.
Cut the tension with a knife. It really is so close on both sides of the field.
Join the league as a player. Get recruited. Get paid for your efforts and drive your team to glory. Or how about buying a team? Put together the ultimate roster and trade your way to success. You can tune into our shows on Twitch and control what happens next on the Slips platform. It's all happening this year, and we're giving away 50,000 SLCC tokens and a $700 million airdrop. Join us. Check out slips.gg for more information.
You know, the next quarterfinal match here that we have going on, and looking more forward to get to know these players and see what talent they bring to the field.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited to see that as well. As mentioned, this is kind of my first tournament, so I'm learning as we go. I'm also excited to get to know you. I'm not going to lie. Okay. Like, this is my first NA tournament. I'm meeting all these big personalities, and it's been a lot of fun. So I think overall, a learning experience for sure. It's a shame we don't have a Magic School Bus car. That would be probably the most appropriate at this stage. I mean, it flies just like the Rocket League cars. That would be a lot of fun. I don't know. PSYONIX, please, can you get on that? And I'll write you a letter.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so just a little bit about me. I mean, I've been playing Rocket League for probably 3.5 years or so. I just recently got into casting, kind of organically throughout the stream. People just kind of hopped in, and I was like, you know what, you guys can play, and I was just sitting there with not playing. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll start casting their games, and now we're here. So it's been an interesting organic kind of growth.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's where the best casters come from. No one really, I feel, goes, "Oh, I'm gonna be Mr. Caster Man and just dedicate everything." It always seems to come naturally. For me, it was a similar thing. I yelling at friends playing games. It was League of Legends at the time. Decided to start streaming it because they were all low elo. It was a lot of fun. I get yelled at by my housemates, so I start doing it from my closet, and then I upgraded to a bathroom. And then I realized Rocket League is probably a little bit more fun. So here we are now. That's just sort of how the journey goes. And look, I've upgraded from a bathroom to a kitchen. So,
I think
we're moving up. Maybe eventually we'll get a bedroom.
Maybe. I mean, at least the food is close. At least the drinks are close, right?
Yeah, that's what's important. Look, it's priorities, all right? You got like a minute in between games. Just run back in there, grab a little snack. Nom, 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 nom. Let's continue on.
For sure.
But that said, I do think we will be hopefully kicking off this next match soon. For those of you who are unaware, we are going to be kicking off game number 3. That is going to be the Nickel Gamers versus Only Dubs. Again, if you saw my dab before, sorry, that was a one and done deal. You're not getting it again. I'm going to be Mr. Spoiler right there, but I'm assuming you might have a better idea with these teams. Again, this is my first time. Nickel Gamers, I do know, have won 2 of these tournaments in the past. Are we sort of expecting, more dominance, or I suppose a return to dominance from the squad?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to anyone. I threw that ball up there. Someone's got to catch
Yeah,
it.
I mean, Nickel Gamers has historically been strong in these tournaments. I mean, I think that they're going to come out here and hope, if they keep having the type of success they've had in the past, this could be, another game. I know these 2 teams have history together, especially in these tournaments, and this is going to be a pretty strong match all around coming up, I think, between the 2 teams.
Yeah, I think we will be seeing that as well. Didn't ask, will be on the blue side. Take Flight will be on the orange side. We are getting ever closer to that kickoff. Again, Twitch chat. This is just me looking at you guys. I do want to see who you think are going to take this one. I'm noticing we're getting a bit more active. Thank you for, the 20 bits as well from Hamburger765, Soggy Bread Pog. Not sure if that's a reference to something I haven't quite caught on just yet. Either way, a huge thank you to yourself. So I don't know. I'm assuming Dodger, do you know what that one's about? Because that's a
Hamburgers from my stream, and he is very, very adamant of trying to get me to eat soggy bread because I made the mistake of saying that I hate soggy foods, and he has just taken this thing and made it into a large meme.
Are we going to get any soggy bread eating on
Not here, no.
I do hope that you never plan on being a speed eater then, because that's how they do it so quickly. Like they dip everything in the water, get it all soggy, and then when it's mush, it's kind of like you just funnel it down your throat.
Yeah, definitely not a speed eater at all. I can't even hardly finish my dinner most of the time. I'm pretty small guy.
You look shape, you look fit. You're probably a bit more active than I am. I eat too much personally. That's okay. I mean, let's just blame COVID for that. That's why I just stuck inside, and that gets us in that situation. Either way, the players are starting to jump in. I do believe, again, this kickoff moments away from getting on this match. A little sloppy. That's all right. Quarterfinal number 3. Again, we are bringing you every single quarterfinal, every single semifinal, and of course our grand final today. So very, very young this evening for all of you in North America, and still a long morning to come for those of us, I think only myself in OCE. I'm excited to get this one underway. I want to see what makes this Nickel Gaming so strong. Names haven't quite updated, but that's okay on the pitch. So if you see a different name come up at the end of this one, don't worry. We're not seeing a repeat. These are still going to be new teams.
And also, there's some speculation about whether or not I can or cannot pull my hair into a ponytail, and I can assure you that I can't, unfortunately. There is no ponytail action going on.
Well, sounds like you have homework before your next stream is to just to grow out and get a ponytail, or maybe even get a wig. Both can work.
Looks like we are moments away from getting the match started up, but once again, the beautiful PSYONIX servers and the technical difficulties that do come along with that are holding us back here just a little bit. But stick around, guys. We'll be getting to the action here momentarily.
Yes, hopefully we do get into this one.
Soggy Waffles, Link says.
Ooh, soggy waffles. That's
Sliterator.
hold up. Soggy
Sliterator.
waffles are good. Because
You like soggy waffles?
if it's soggy because of syrup,
I guess. I guess so.
like you have an out there. I mean, I'm going to question how much syrup you're actually putting onto the waffle in that situation, and I'm going to be worried about your health moving forward. But I can understand that. You know, if the syrup is like sinked in, made it a little bit soggy, that should be all right. Soggy
No.
bread.
Mm-mm.
Okay, wait.
I hate
I'm
soggy
not.
foods.
Yeah, that's fair. Not an oatmeal fan.
I used to eat oatmeal, not so much anymore. No.
Ah, all right.
Pancakes are worse though. A bunch of syrup on pancakes, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just trying to think like what food is actually designed to be soggy, and like the only thing that's coming to my mind right now is risotto. Like risotto is supposed to be soggy.
I mean,
Sure.
can you
All right.
qualify pancakes as soggy with syrup? Is syrup a soggy? Is that a soggy sauce?
Like if you put enough of it on, yeah, when it like sinks in, and but then you don't taste the waffle or the pancake or whatever. You just take syrup, and at that stage you might as well be going full Super Troopers, you know, and just like downing the syrup bottle.
I think the what is it called? The French dip sandwich, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
supposed to be soggy. So you like dip it in the onion soup or whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, those are good. I'm hungry. Not gonna lie, I'm getting pretty hungry right now. I didn't get breakfast. The call times were a little bit confusing for me, and we started an hour earlier than expected, so it's kind of like straight out of bed into the caster chair. Haven't had a chance to eat, so hopefully, you know, hopefully I might be able to sneak away. Kitchen is right behind me.
I just had a half rack of ribs.
Oh,
I just
I'm jealous. I might have to hit up that Uber Eats a bit later today. It does look like players are jumping in, so I do believe we'll be kicking off very, very soon. Thank you all for bearing with us here at the Slips Rocket League 3v3 Tourney Series number 6. We will be kicking this off again in any given moment. Nickel Gamers will be on that blue side, Orange Dubs on the orange side. Players are loading in, timers are ticking down. We're going to be kicking this one off. I'm excited. The hype has returned as we are underway.
Coming into the face-off now, looks like Lollipop is going to be able to win that one back there into the blue corner with Milo coming out of that blue corner. A nice pinch going down and into the orange box. A follow-up shot there from Milo comes across and looking for a blue team member there, but a big boom down the field, and Turtle able to make the save. Coming out pretty aggressive here, the blue team is, despite that one shot towards the blue net from the orange team thus far.
What I'm finding interesting already, though, looking at Nickel Gamers, is how they're positioning themselves. It looks like they've cleaned themselves up a bit now, but their rotations were not clean at the start of the game. They were all on the same page horizontally. And while that's good and maybe cutting off defenses, if it had been a case of only Dubs able to get a nice lob over the top, they could have definitely been punished. That said, they have cleaned themselves up now. We are starting to see more offensive rotations. Turtle does get beaten out. Lollipop, though, has pulled back, and we're starting to see those clears. So, scary situation at the start of the game for our favorites, but they have recovered.
Yeah, now coming off of the orange side, now sliding down. Milo again in that same orange corner. Looks to be working the left side of the field quite often here as Lollipop looks for a pass over to Milo just high and wide of the upper 90 of that orange net. Blue team keeping up this aggression. The Nickel Gamers keeping it up right now.
Yeah, can I just say Mass has absolute nerves of steel. I thought that first shot was coming through, but Mass was able to make that read, play that patient defense, and actually make the save on this second attempt. So well played by him right there, understanding, no, I only need to move out of this box when I absolutely have to. That time, shot nearly gets over his head, but again, Mass able to get that height, make that save. He won't get the clear, but he's definitely stepping up on defense right now.
Yeah, and as it comes back here into the blue corner, and we do have a demo coming there from 4TV onto Lollipop as it soars there into the blue corner. And 4TV going to be off of that side one now, upside down, soaring in, looking for Wash to come in for a shot. And that's going to be blocked on by Turtle as another center up comes from Mass. Wash going to give it another shot, high and wide, upper 90 of that blue nets.
Oh, that was almost a scary situation as Lollipop did swing and miss, but the rest of the team able to recover. Shot coming from Turtle across the middle of the pitch, and that's going to be a 1-0 lead.
1-0 lead, a 71-mile-an-hour shot there. Lollipop got the power on the turtle with just a nice angle into that undefended orange net, puts the Nickel Gamers up by 1 here when we're resting with 2:49 remaining coming into the next face-off.
I just realized something terrible off of that goal and what you said. I'm in OCE. We go by kilometers an hour. That was 114. Either way, GG, or $, whatever. TVD. It's just a lot of numbers, symbols, and names. He's the one who's going to get that goal, and we are tied yet again.
Yeah, CG for TV. I'm not sure what to call him. We'll go with CG. Maybe that's the first letters that are in his name. So we'll stick with that. Coming from Only Dubs, the orange team. Turtle sends it off with the back wall. And Turtle still with it, trying to send it up here for the blue team. And Lollipop still working in that orange corner as possession is now turned and switched the pitch here into the blue zone off the ceiling. CG hungry for that goal.
Unfortunately, he just ran out of boost, so he wasn't able to get that critical last touch. However, good tight offensive rotation starting to come through out of this Only Dubs side. And even when they fall back, it is getting Nickel Gamers to bait up a little bit and get punished for it. So I'm really liking what Only Dubs is doing right now. They're the first team to really show that aggressive edge that I've been looking for all day. And I'm hoping they can keep this high tempo up. They might be able to find success through it.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, boost is becoming a factor here in this match as we're getting, down here into the last couple minutes of the match. We got to think about, boost preservation and really making some smart choices on when to pick up boost, recognizing when your teammates might be low on boost and who should be grabbing that full pad for the best offensive opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Communication's got to be on point, especially from both of these teams. This is the fastest game we have seen thus far, I think. These teams taking it to each other right now. Meatball in the middle of the pitch will get caught by CG, who doesn't get that next touch. That could have been an opening. Mass still able to fall through in the corner. He gets the shot, but Milo is there to make a very clutch save.
Very, very nice save off the inside of the post. Actually, about a third of the ball was actually resting on the goal line. Milo was able to use his own post to his advantage and get that out of the nets and keep this a 1-1 game here, just approaching 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, okay. 2 defenders in the box right now, each of them with boost, so it's going to really be up for Only Dubs to try and bait them out, and they are slowing the pace down, and that does get the defense to bite, but that last touch needed to find the clear, not quite going to come into fruition. So we are seeing an attack coming from Nickel Gamers, at least until it lands right into Watch Laps. It's a good pass, but not the touch I think they were looking for, so Mass is going to go ahead, throw the ball in the corner. Now this is to sort of get those rotations back on pace, buy some time, find some shots, and CG, I should say, is the one who takes the 1-goal lead with 33 seconds remaining.
Great positioning there from CG, recognizing the blue team was a little bit scrambled. No one really on point to in position to make a save, and coming up from that midfield position and just slamming that one home, making it 2-1.
Yeah, this is a critical lead right now for Only Dubs. I have to admit, they were not my pick coming into this one, but if they can hold on, getting that first game would be majorly advantageous in a best-of-3 series. Turtle, though, is going to try to fight it back. Good clear by CG right now. We're starting to see Nickel Gamers kind of tap this sort of hockey power play mentality. They're pulling the goalie. They're trying to push everyone down the pitch, but they're also stuck at defense at the moment with 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, they really need to work to get it out of the zone as quick as possible, and that is not what you want to happen. Flying high, wasting precious seconds as it soars in front of their own nets, and as the ball touches the ground, Only Dubs is going to take game 1 here of this quarterfinal matchup, best-of-3 series.
Yeah, Only Dubs definitely putting on a fantastic performance. And while I do feel Nickel Gamers did start to react to the tempo that Only Dubs was putting down during like the final 2 minutes of that game, it was unfortunately too little too late. Only Dubs, first team to really kind of get in their opponent's face so far this tournament, to sort of match the Nickel Gamer speed and at times surpass it. It's what gave them that edge in this one. So super exciting to see. I'm super happy for Only Dubs right now. This is kind of more that play style that I'm accustomed to seeing, get those tight offensive rotations, challenge everything, even if it's on the other side of the pitch, and you will create more opportunities for yourself.
Yeah, a lot of history between these two.
Go ahead, ABK.
Yeah, a lot of history between these two teams. We're being captain of Nickel Gamers, and Mass, who's the captain of Only Dubs. In fact, one of the things is that one of Warbean's players is now playing on Only Dubs, so it's almost like, rivalry brewing here, and you can tell with that aggression that's definitely coming out in this aggressive play today.
Yeah, speaking of that history there, Nickel Gamers has won the tournaments here on the channel 2 times in a row, and also won that mini lockdown tournament in that period. So they have been somewhat unstoppable, and we'll see if only Dubs can keep the momentum going and possibly knock Nickel Gamers out here in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, that'd be a huge feather in the cap of only Dubs for sure. Taking out one of the tournament favorites, and if they continue to play at this pace, I'd almost say like they probably are going to be that team to watch moving forward. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to see if they can pull this one back. Personally, I am running into a little bit of a technical issue right now, so I'm just going to throw it over to you, Dodger, while I try and get this fixed.
All right, technical issues on your side, and looks like we possibly might be having some technical issues with Rocket League, as well as the server has just disconnected. So stand by here while we deal with, once again, these beautiful PSYONIX servers, well, Epic servers, if you will, nowadays.
Yeah.
So, yep, server went down.
It wasn't just me. I was worried it was just me. That's all. Okay,
Everyone's capitalizing on this Memorial Day weekend to really get their Rocket League in tight.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a good weekend to do it. It's been raining here for a week straight. It was finally was able to see the sun. I don't know how it's been around the country there down in Australia with you, Formal, but it's been very wet. Cold?
Yeah, it's winter, or we're on the verge of winter right now. It actually dropped about 8 degrees Celsius, might I add, not Fahrenheit. I'm not going to go ahead and do that conversion, but it's dropped 8 degrees Celsius like over the past 3 days, and I've gone from t-shirts and board shorts to like full on sweaters or jumpers, whatever you want to call them. Get me my sweatpants. I'm all snug at the moment as we are looking to continue this one. Lobby was quickly remade, so we will be kicking off game number 2 in just a few moments.
All right, sounds in just a few months. Let me go ahead and hop back here into the game so we can continue casting on. Let me know, chat, who do you think is going to be winning this quarterfinal matchup? Only Dubs and Nickel facing off here.
Also, quick shout out to one Stag Cohen 15 as well, dropping 30 big biddies on the stream. Big thank you to you. Without the bits and the fun times, well, I still think this would continue, but it's always nice to see those donations. We feel that appreciation here at Slips, so thank you very much for that. Again, if I'm going to drop my prediction on this one, if I may, I actually am now a believer in only Dubs just because of the tempo that they were able to throw down. I also feel they were actually more consistent in just getting good bangs on that ball and sort of breaking the offensive rotations put together by Nickel Gamers. I do feel Nickel Gamers do have the mechanical skill. Like I was able to see that in that game. They can make some crazy thing happens, but if I'm looking at team consistency and almost team cohesion, I'm still leaning more towards this orange side.
Yeah, for sure.
Warbean here is really hurting on you.
Yeah, just keep up the consistency. I mean, just make smart plays. Once again, they are going up against a very, very strong team, which has, of course, proven themselves twice, 2.5 times, if you will, with the mini lockdown tournaments. And, they're going up against a very, very strong team, and they've proven themselves here on Slips Gaming. So you guys, they need to bring it. They need to bring it.
Yeah, they absolutely need to bring it. It's do or die for them. We could be seeing our second relatively large upset in a row should things not go their way, but they're going to have to deal with CG for sure. He has kind of been that breakout player, I feel like, on this orange side as we have kicked ourselves off. This is game number 2 underway.
Game number 2 underway, and once again, it does kind of go back there into the blue zone right off of the kickoff. So I'm thinking maybe, the orange team here, only Dubs are doing that on purpose to set themselves up, give themselves a chance to get full boost, and then start formulating an attack from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are seeing Nickel Gamers actually the first team to really get some offensive pressure down, but good patient defense right now. Mass staying in the box is able to beat out Turtle. Good little boost steal away by CG as well. It does mean that this blue side might be running on empty, and CG, the man with the boost, does get the pass shot on target, but War being able to make the save follow through. Not quite fast enough.
Yeah, a name that we didn't really have circulating around the studio here in that first game was Warbean. Definitely made a nice defensive play there to keep them in it.
Yeah, Warbean, I mean, I want to see more from him. Obviously, he was kind of silent game number 1, Turtle. Nice bang down the pitch, but really everyone on this Nickel Gamer side, I do feel like needs to step up a little bit more. Everything has kind of been dictated by only Dubs thus far. Turtle has been stepping up for his side, but I need to see more from Milo or Emilio. I want to see more from Warbean.
Really strong in these matches and sort of
Emilio, oh, and there we do have a goal from Mass, breaking the tie and putting only Dubs up by 1, coming out force here. 3:36 remaining, pretty early in the game. You know, given that the last score was very, very close, this could possibly be all it takes to win it. 1 goal. If they can keep this defense up, that's all you need to win. Just 1.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about Warbean a little bit, but probably not in a positive light. He really put his team in an awkward position right there when he didn't get in front of that ball, and it was forced to go for that very risky clear across the box. Now, he was kind of forced to do that because he didn't really position himself initially on that corner play, but those risky clears through the box, you have to hit that ball hard or you will get punished. And a great job by Mass in order to find that goal right there. However, Warbean, he just needs to tighten up his defense, his positioning a little bit. He might be getting exposed. That's a very delayed pre-jump, but fortunately, Turtle is there to make the save.
Emilio sends it up there to Turtle, looking for that double tap off of the backboard, nearly going in, but a beautiful pass nonetheless, if it was an intended pass. But no one home to put it in the back of the orange net. We still have a 1-0 game, 2:44 remaining as Warbean's coming around the blue corner. A little bit of a stalemate as Mask gets a nice touch on it, but Emilio, once again, another beautiful save, keeping his team in it here within 1 and keeping the hopes alive to not go down by 2. You definitely don't want to put yourself into that position here, given their history here on the channel.
That's interesting, actually, from what we just saw right there. That could have been a scoring opportunity, actually, coming from only Dubs, but 2 members opted to rotate back instead of 1, which we had been seeing previously. Kind of losing that aggressive edge, and that could just come from the scoreline, being more concerned about holding on to that lead than extending it. However, they're kind of stuck in an awkward situation right now. Great play by Mass, actually. A fantastic touch, even with 0 boost, to just sort of maintain possession. Does get the dump off to his teammates, so scary situation. I feel like only Dubs is losing their identity, and Emilio is there to punish.
Emilio, just a nice aerial pass there from Turtle. Emilio was able to pick it up, get it past the 2 orange defenders there, and tie up this game. 1:51 remaining. We got a tie game on our hands now, possibly the most exciting gameplay of this quarterfinal we have seen thus far. The clock is ticking down. Opportunity for a team to go up by 2. Opportunity for 1 to tie it up. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, definitely been the fastest gameplay thus far. I think the highest level as well. I'm a bit sad that we're seeing these 2 teams play this early. Mass going for that solo play, isn't able to get it past that defense. Emilio now looking to try and dribble it back down, but watch
A new kind of league is debuting this year. Your favorite Rocket League stars and some new faces put it all on the line in order to win the championship.
Cut the tension with a knife. It really is so close on both sides of the field.
Join the league as a player. Get recruited. Get paid for your efforts and drive your team to glory. Or how about buying a team? Put together the ultimate roster and trade your way to success. You can tune into our shows on Twitch and control what happens next on the Slips platform. It's all happening this year, and we're giving away 50,000 SLCC tokens and a $700 million airdrop. Join us. Check out slips.gg for more information.
Final game. Unfortunately, you didn't get to hear us for a lot of it, which is a shame because there's a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, things being thrown, things smashing. It was like the circus had come through, and I think it was a little bit too much for ABK, as he unfortunately has had to dip out. So you're just going to be stuck with us two henceforth for the rest of the tournament today.
Hope that's okay. There was also talks about Oreos there. There was a beautiful shot from Mass. It was a nice double stuff, if you will. A nice rebound play off of the defender and puts in the insurance goal, which put only Dubs up and advancing on. And so Nickel Gamers have been eliminated. So possibly an upset. It was an upset here within this bracket.
Yeah, it definitely was. And, we kind of seen, the team that's won two of these, they've been knocked out. The defending champ now, they've been knocked out. Newcasters coming in, getting a first look at this tournament. And it really does feel like a new, fresh look right here for Slips, just because everything's just being flipped on its head right now. And anyone can take it at this stage moving forward. That said, only Dubs. I was more impressed by them than I have been with any other team thus far, just because of the speed at which they were playing, the aggressiveness at which they were playing. Again, broken record a little bit, but that's just what I'm used to. I like seeing tight offensive rotations. I like seeing challenges on everything because it creates more opportunities. And although those were low-scoring affairs, that's just really credit to Nickel Gamers' defense. They were put under the pump a lot in that series, but they were able to hold on. However, it is time to look forward. It is time to move to our final quarterfinal match. Again, it will be that best of three. It's going to be triple commit. Spoilers, my favorite name, G, wonder why with what I just said, taking on Team Flux.
Team Flux and triple commit coming up here momentarily. Once we get these servers set up here, guys. So stick around. Some of you guys are fans of triple commits. Let us know in chat, or fans of.
It's the best name. It's just full stuff. It is the best name. I want to see triple commits. I don't care if it's poor gameplay. I want to see three cars come at the ball from three different angles so the ball doesn't actually move, and then it somehow works out.
You know what? I mean, it might be the new meta. Who knows?
Exactly. That's what we're going to be hoping for in this one, as we will be kicking off very, very soon. I mean, look, again, learning experience. I wish I could give you that deep, deep, deep insight, being like, oh, Triple Commit are known for their corner plays and tight rotations, but just haven't seen them yet. So we're going to be learning. First impressions, obviously, a very, very important. Triple Commit will be on that blue side. Team Flux will be on that orange side. And I don't want to put too much pressure on Triple Commit, Team Flux as well. Like, honestly, I'm excited to see what they can bring. I'm excited for them to break my heart. I'm used to it. It's kind of what happens when you live in OCE and you like esports. Something about OCE always failing in spectacular fashion. Something sicky own goal. Either way, it's going to be, I think, a fantastic series up ahead.
And yeah, for sure. I'm definitely looking forward to Team Flux and Triple Commit here. Obviously, I'm new to Slips here, so this is the first time that I'm seeing these players play on field, and looks like we are getting the cars on the pitch and getting ready to get this last quarterfinal underway.
Yeah, that we are. So again, Twitch chat, I like looking, I like reading, I love seeing the hype. Go ahead and tell us who you are rooting for. Tell us why we're wrong if we think a team is going to win, because trust me, I can take that abuse. I don't really know the Balto. Okay, we're still talking about hamburgers and now dog masks on hamburgers. So it's good to see Twitch chat as focused as we are on those games. Hopefully we shall be kicking this off momentarily. I still believe we're waiting for one of the teams to jump on in, and as soon as they are, will be off. Now, I want to see that similar pace that we saw in our third quarterfinal match. I'm hoping that's what gets brought to this pitch right now. It can go either way, though. So I'm going to go a bit on a tangent here. For those of you who don't know, I'm assuming that's going to be most of you. That's completely fine. I do cast another league called the Iberian League. It's an EU league right now. And something that was super fascinating about that league is the fact that every game that we see, just because of the different play styles of the teams, just feels so different. And I do remember, it was actually just last night, we watched, one of the fastest paced, most exciting games I think I had seen between the Canyons, who got top 4 actually in Spring Series, versus Los Hombres de Paco, team that has some, RLCS players on it as well. But the game before that was Bulls versus Infusion. Again, these are just names. I'm sure you don't know what I mean. That game was equivalent to a League of Legends Clown Fiesta. Just so, you never know what you're going to get is my point. Sometimes you get some of the highest level Rocket League you will see, and other times you'll get 4 cars jumping at the ball and all of them missing. I'm hoping we can continue with the former in this one, more of that high level play, but I wouldn't be surprised if, everything just gets completely flipped on its head and we just go full Fiesta mode.
Well, it does look like we did get some information coming in. Team Flux is the leader of the rivalry here between Triple Commit and Team Flux. They have beat Triple Commit twice. Both of those was a 2-1 series. So we'll see if Triple Commit can bring the heat this time and get a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be super cool to see if they're able to pull this one off. I mean, third time lucky, right? At the moment, though, it is a case of Team Flux putting that initial pressure on after that kickoff, but we're starting to see, similar demons that have plagued some of these teams in the past. They start to get some offensive momentum, but they throw 2 members back, and as a result, counterattacks are just so much easy to initiate. Shot by Fusey, not quite able to connect.
Coming through center field now, down there into the blue corner, Luby just missing control that ball. Going to be off the blue back wall, and Fuz is going to be trying to take it through, but Luby once again trying to set up his team here for a center. Ball kind of just ping-ponging back and forth here, just kind of a pinch battle. Who can pinch it harder? Who can pinch it faster to get it down into the corner and start up some offensive momentum? And an aerial demo there.
I mean, I like seeing that demo coming out of Airy, actually, just because when you're playing that ping pong game, usually the way to break it is to have someone cheat forward and get that bump. And we're starting to see the return play actually coming out from Triple Commit. However, neither team able to get, I suppose, the correct demo in this instance. Airy still looking to push forward, starting to see some mid-pitch presence. Perhaps we want to see more of that. Hungry staying back in the box. Shot coming from Senior Vitali. Not quite there, so Hungry will then push forward. And again, we're back to that ping pong. No one really connecting on those critical bumps to sort of stop this long play from happening.
Yeah, for sure. There was a great opportunity there for Team Flux, but oh, they're gonna get it there. Luby finds the bottom right hand corner of that blue net. Team Flux goes up by 1 here, 3:21 remaining off of a misplay from Otaked, off of the blue. Acto? Adokad? Adokad?
Yeah, sorry for pronouncing your name wrong, buddy, but what I found interesting actually about the entirety of that play was just how, as a team, Team Flux was constantly creeping forward, and Triple Commit not willing to make that same, I suppose, commitment. They were happy with staying back against their own wall, and they just kind of found their space creeped on upon time and time again, and eventually that did open the door for sort of that really tight cutoff, that little bit of a dunk almost when Atokad didn't get the touch he was looking for. So a great start for Team Flux. I'm curious to see if they're going to continue with this sort of slow, creeping, suffocating play style.
Yeah, and that might be their go-to play. I mean, once again, we have not seen Triple Commit play personally, so they are new to us. So we'll see what type of gameplay they're looking for here.
Yeah, and already we're seeing Hungry starting to push forward and challenge in the corner. That will set Ari up. Shot not quite on target. There were a couple defenders in the box, so it would have been a tough one to hit on. Good return by Luby right there, but he doesn't get that push forward. And now we're actually starting to see return creepings from Triple Commit. So I think both teams kind of take the first half of that game to feel each other out. Now are starting to feel a bit more aggressive, more willing to challenge at that mid-pitch line. Luby doesn't quite get above that ball and doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Pinch awkwardly goes against this orange side, and we are tied.
And it's just amazing how just one simple mistake on the complete opposite side of the field can just come back to bite you within seconds. Now we have a tie game, 2:10 remaining off of that pinch play on the defender right into the nets with great speed, 1-1. Coming to the faceoff now, Senior Vitali wins that one, going to be off of the side while Hungry maybe looking for a ground pinch there, but not quite able to catch up to the ball as Luby is looking to attack, but Fuz is putting it right back here, and it's kind of back to that ping pong style once again.
I've seen a couple awkward misses right now actually coming out of Luby, especially on some of these aerial plays. Like, he's got to try and clean that one up moving forward. Even getting any touch on the ball is better than a complete whip right now. So my eyes are going to be on him. I feel like if he starts making better contact, that's going to be the difference. As he did go for the double touch, it turned into a setup for Ari, but Fuzi, good defense right there. Patient defense. It does stop the attack from coming through. Hungry now trying to catch his own pass, but actually there was a teammate there able to collect it. Just couldn't see it on the angle. Fuzi, not a lot of boost. He's going to go for the flick lane again. It's another big miss coming from Luby, I believe, and that's going to be a 2-1 lead in favor of Triple Commit. No, it was Ari who missed it.
Ari missing there, and the teammates almost Hungry. You had to think, Hungry believed in Ari there. It looked to be a very, very innocent play and an innocent save, but Ari got hung up, jumped over the ball, just a simple move there, and kind of really threw him off, and Hungry had to act fast, but unfortunately not quick enough, and Triple Commit is going to be going up by 1 goal here, maybe foreshadowing the end of this game.
Yeah, Triple Commit all of a sudden in a fantastic position with 1 minute to go. However, I'm not counting out Team Flux yet. I did like their offensive rotations earlier in the game, and if they can reestablish that, perhaps they might be able to find that opening. But when it comes to these 1v1, these 50-50s, it feels like time and time again it's going Triple Commit's way, and until you start winning those, you're not going to be able to get sustained attacks through. Instead, they're looking for faster counterattacks. Good pass plays. Luby cannot quite beat Fuse to the ball.
Hungry in good position there for catching that big boom coming all the way downfield, keeping their team, within 1 here. Trying to seek that insurance goal. Triple Commit is looking for that triple goal here in game 1 as Atacad is up high, trending towards the orange corner as it comes to a slow roll, and Ari able to clear it out to center field at least with 10 seconds counting down now. Team Flux really trying to make something happen, send this one to overtime, and see if they can make something happen. Here's possibly a good opportunity here for Hungry. Must have been low on boost, and Triple Commit's going to take game 1.
Yep, Triple Commit, they bring it back. And again, I feel like the deciding factor in this one was just their ability to win these 50-50 challenges, especially during the middle of that game when they started to feel a bit more confident. It was like literally at like the 2 minutes, 30-second mark, something just sort of flipped for Triple Commit. And all of a sudden they were pushing forward, challenging more at the middle of the pitch, not giving Team Flux that space to give those big booming clears down the field. And when they started winning those 50s as well, that's when they were starting to establish that offensive pressure. I mean, if you take a look at the shots from each side of this game, it doesn't really reflect, I feel, too much of how it went through. Only 4 shots on target taken by Triple Commit, but all 4 of those shots did come during the second half of that game when they were able to kind of slow Team Flux down, who, I mean, Ari alone took 4 shots. Then you add another 6 on top of that. It was 4 shots to 10, yet Triple Commit was still able to find that victory.
Yeah, and it just comes down to maybe Triple Commit is just a little bit more fine-tuned on their shot choices. Team Flux maybe just throwing everything in desperation and try and tie up that game. Maybe they'll come back here in game 2 and look to take a little bit more of a calculated approach, if you will, to their shots on nets and make them count, because a missed shot is a rebound, and a rebound turns into a scoring opportunity for the opposite team. And that's definitely not what you want when you're facing elimination here.
Absolutely not. So pressure going to be on Team Flux in this one. I've liked Hari in this. Hungry as well has been playing strong. Luby has been the one who at times has had some awkward misses and kind of opened the door really for Triple Commit to punish. I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to rebound from that game 1 performance and bring himself and his team back into this one. My eyes will be on him, but this initial kickoff actually very heavily in favor of Triple Commit, and with the demo, they're going to take the 1-0 lead.
Senior Vitali with that simple play. Essentially wide open net there from the help of Atacad with that demo. 1-0. Senior Vitali just locked it in.
Yeah, that was a very, very, very good start. A triple star goal, really, from Triple Commit, as they do take that 1-0 lead, and they're establishing even more pressure off that kickoff. However, Ari with the boost is able to throw a look back. He doesn't touch it, but he doesn't need to. We are tied.
I thought Luby was going to come back in your heart there and give him some credit here, but Luby just missing it. But you know what? It might have worked out in their favor. It is a tie game. Nonetheless, it's in the back of the net. It doesn't really matter how it makes it there for that play, at least. 1-1. Just under 30 seconds into the match. Already 2 goals.
Yeah, AutoCAD actually did pre-jump expecting Luby to hit that ball right there, and when he missed it, the ball was able to sail just underneath. So a bit of a lucky break that Luby didn't get the touch on it. Now, whether or not that was intentional, I'll leave that up to debate. For Luby's sake, I'm going to assume that it actually wasn't. That was a fantastic fake right there coming from the Team Flux side. However, very even matched game right now. Both teams playing a bit more aggressively, looking to challenge a lot more than what we saw in game number 1, and that usually leads to a faster paced game of Rocket League. Ari catching his own setup, can't put it on target, but that third man will, as Hungry makes it 2-1.
Hungry for the goal there. Team Flux is, as they are facing elimination. A nice team play there. Everyone was involved on that one. A couple bounces off of that backboard up high, and then off to the right side of that post. And Hungry able to find it.
Yeah, Hungry looking super good right there. We haven't really called his name too much, so I'm happy to see him get that goal. And yeah, it's just too much offensive pressure right now. The defense did crack, and that could have been another opening. Instead, Fusey gets 1 demo. He also gets Hungry out of position, but the follow-up shot is not going to be able to connect. That's going to be one that I feel Triple Commit want back.
Yeah, Atacad just, he had the net, but Fusey is able to tie up the game. We just have back-to-back ties, 1-1, 2-2, 3:39 remaining here in game number 2. A simple shot, really. I mean, when you really break that one down, but when it comes down to the angle, he was there, the right time, right place, right speed, and a great target chosen in that bottom left area of that blue net.
Oh, and it looks like possibly another shot nearly coming through from Senior Vitali. Not quite going to connect just yet. And oh, an awkward miss from Fusey does mean more attack coming from this Flux side. However, why are they rotating back on defense? That ball was just free for them to mount that counterattack. Instead, they let it go all the way. But that does bait the blue side forward, and very awkward play really from both teams right there. AutoCAD will be pushing forward himself. It's going to be a backward setup, but a good read by Luby. He does make the touch, passing it to Hungry, and that does beat out the attacker. Senior Vitali lets the ball get over his head right now, and AutoCAD is going to be the one awkwardly trying to find that clear.
Good adjustment from Senior Vitali there. He was beat on that ball, but was able to use the rest of his boost that he had remaining to get behind that ball and make a calculated touch, not just a touch of just to hit it in panic mode. It was a calculated touch to his teammate to get it cleared on down to the orange side.
Yeah, as 2.5 minutes essentially remaining, a very tight game, still 2 apiece. I'm liking the tighter rotations actually coming out of Triple Commit. I feel they are still playing with a bit more of that aggressive edge, especially when attacking, and even the demos stopping Luby from cheating through, so that gets rid of that deep pass threat. AutoCAD doesn't have the boost to go up for, but it's a great bump nonetheless, and all of a sudden everyone's running into each other, things breaking down for Team Flux, but no one there to capitalize right away.
A little bit of panic mode right there from Team Flux, and with good reason, as that ball was just lightly bouncing dangerously in front of their nets, and they had to get it out quick as Luby sends it off himself to a pass to himself off of that blue sidewall. Another center up here, no one quite there from the orange team to send that one home. Gonna be off the blue back wall now, and another demo. Demos are getting crazy in this game out here.
Yeah, I mean, that was a demo out of desperation. It was stopping the third man from following through because for whatever reason, Triple Commit was just struggling to get the ball out of the box. Pressure definitely getting to both of these teams as we're seeing uncharacteristic misses and touches. Hungry looking to spike it down, does not get the angle he's looking for. Senior Vitality able to rotate through and get that clear as well as punch it down. Ari needs a big bang, not quite what he was looking for. Fuse able to catch it, tries to get the pass into the middle, but a bit too slow. Hungry's the one pushing forward. This 2-2 game is really at a knife's edge.
Coming in for the shot, and a big save there from Senior Vitality. That could have set up a nice double tap there off of the blue crossbar. Senior Vitality now looking to center it up for Fusi. Back 2-1 now. Odd man rush as they're able to turn it around quickly. Grazes the ceiling in the orange corner of Team Flux as they're desperately trying to hang on to this tie game, possibly get into some overtime, resets, take a breather, and get control of this match.
Yeah, that is going to be the game for sure. Luby, though, going for that solo play, gets it past the first defender, actually muscles it past the second, gets the bump as well, but Ari doesn't connect on the shot. Oh, heartbreak. Luby is going to be the one rotating around, nearly getting redemption solely himself, but the rest of the team did not have his back. 30 seconds to go, and finally we're starting to see defensive clears.
Luby with a big shot coming in. That's going to be off of the crossbar. Can he follow it up? Ari trying for it. It's still in the blue box and around. An opportunity here for Senior Vitality. Throws it away. Hungry.
Demo.
Team Flux coming back.
Oh my gosh, Team Flux, they're getting so many chances, but they just can't quite get it in. 5 seconds to go. Last chance for Ari. He's going to find it with 3 seconds remaining, and that might be what takes us to game number 3.
There is 3 seconds remaining. We have seen crazier things happen in Rocket League for sure, so don't count them out just yet.
Absolutely not. That sustained attack was absolutely amazing coming from this Team Flux side. Ari was just creating opportunity after opportunity, and finally he was able to bang it through. We will be getting a Team Flux victory. We will be seeing yet another game 3 as these quarterfinal series are just banger after banger after banger.
Yeah, for sure. I like to see Team Flux there pick up a win and force a game 3 because I think it's well deserved between these two teams, given their a little bit of rivalry that they have. Triple Commits has beat them in a couple series here. Beat them twice, both in a 2-1 series. So we'll see if Triple Commits can get that three-peat and get that triple win.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be looking for that win right now. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a bounce back for them. Team Flux, however, played that game so well. Again, these two teams, they always seem to go to that game 3, right? It's always going to be close. Triple Commit, they've done it in the past. I am feeling like they might be able to do it again. But if Team Flux continue to play like they did that final minute of the game, I'm not sure Triple Commit is going to even have an opportunity to find some goals right back.
And Team Flux, look at the shots this time. We had 4 shots from Ari, 5 shots from Hungry, and 3 from Luby. So they did not peel back on these shot attempts. They kept firing, and probably a lot of those shots came from that final flurry of shots in that beautiful battle that was going on to get that lead for them.
Yeah, it really was a lot of fury. And again, the player I was kind of harsh on, Luby, he was the one making a lot of it happen. He was getting those first touches, able to follow through with either great bumps and great demos. And really, it only was a matter of time before Ari was going to be able to put one on target. He had multiple opportunities to do just that. And when he was able to, it looked so clean. 3 seconds remaining. You love those clutch goals to keep teams alive. And those are big momentum swingers as well. Those are the kind of things that you actually get series victories off of, because Rocket League, especially with 2 evenly matched teams, really becomes that mental game. So I'm excited to see if we are going to see that in effect. Obviously, a bit of a delay before getting into the 3rd game, so a bit more time for triple commit to sort of regrasp themselves. But right now, momentum's so much in favor of Team Flux. I'm thinking they might be able to do it.
And you know what? I hope for their sake they can, because I keep coming back to this, but they've lost to triple commits twice, and they want that grudge match. They want that pride, the pride that they have beat the triple commit team. And this quite possibly could be their best opportunity to do so, as once again you mentioned that momentum has flipped. It's the same in a lot of sports. I mean, Rocket League isn't really that much different from hockey or football. Once you're on the home field and you get that awesome touchdown or goal, the crowd's on your side. In this case, maybe the Twitch chat is on their side as well. And we'll see how that plays a factor here in this final match of this quarterfinal.
I always love making that comparison of Rocket League to ice hockey as opposed to soccer. I mean, everyone can look at it and be like, oh yeah, football, soccer, you have the soccer ball, it goes into the goal, et cetera, et cetera. But just because of the constant motion, because of the constant rotations, I've always found it much more akin to ice hockey. And as you're saying, yeah, ice hockey is that similar game of momentum. The only difference is you don't have players subbing in and out multiple times in a single game. Like, that's not really an element to it. But, you still see your big collisions. You see, your fights, aka your rule ones, very much a hockey type situation. If only there was a Rocket League penalty box. I wonder what would jurisdict just like throwing a car in there. I reckon that would be a lot of fun.
With like 10 demos within one game, and then you have to go in the penalty box or something.
Exactly. It's just like, nah, you're spending 30 seconds in that penalty box. Then we're just going to see, proper power plays. And that would just be a fun element to add. Obviously, it would make absolutely zero sense because, the great thing about Rocket League and all esports is that penalties don't really exist in game. No yellow flags being thrown. It's just pure action from start to finish with minimal disruptions, unless of course, servers die or what have you.
Yeah, for sure. I think that would be pretty interesting. But yeah, I think Rocket League is much more similar to hockey than soccer or football, as you likely call it. I know.
It's still soccer in Australia, actually.
Okay.
Football for us is actually either rugby or AFL, which is a game that I'm not sure too many people in the States know of, but think of it like
arena football.
No, it is so hard to explain.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's a different one. Well, here's a fun thing. Like, how I don't know how much NFL you follow, but like there's a lot of Australian punters in the NFL.
Huh.
They're usually AFL players. Instead of like passing the ball to throw the ball, you either kick it or you sort of do this thing which is called a handball, which I can like try and demonstrate. So you like with I don't know, this sheet of paper, like let's assume the sheet of paper is the ball right here. In order to pass the ball forward, you have to punch it out of your hand.
Interesting.
I'm serious. Yeah, it's the game is messy, but it's so much fun to watch. Actually, I am a little bit of an AFL fan, and I think it's something that could like carry over very well in the States, more so than rugby. Rugby is a bit like a slow brawl where it's just guys beating each other up at times for no reason. AFL, you still get like the big hits, but you also get, your dramatic catches and everything, because you can kick the ball pretty far and then players will jump up for it and you're allowed to jump on a teammate's back in order to go up and try and catch the ball. So like you see situations like it's an absolute crazy game. One that I recommend people check out.
That's crazy. Yeah, that sounds super entertaining to watch. Actually, I'm about to watch some highlights on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game, and I know that's sacrilege right now because I live in Queensland, and Queensland doesn't really care about AFL. We're more of a rugby state, but I'm sorry, AFL is the superior game. For anyone is in Australia in this Twitch chat, I don't actually think so. Yeah, there I said it. I'm more on team AFL, but at heart, I am more on team actual like gridiron, aka NFL. I don't know if I go like that. You can see Brett Favre sitting right there by that microwave. Either way, though, hopefully we will be kicking off our third game very soon. I'm excited to get back into this one.
Looks like we're waiting on a couple more people to join as they are filing into a formation here for the kickoff here of Game 3. Going into the game right now, we're taking down, and here we go, Game 3.
Yeah, Game 3 underway. Do or die for both of these teams. Do we finally see triple commit get yet another one on the board, or will Team Flux be able, third time lucky, get themselves over this monkey's back? At the moment, it is actually triple commit on the attack right now, and I have noticed a lot of these kickoffs are usually leading towards a established triple commit attack. They seem to be a bit better on the reaction side of things and turn things around, and that's a great little steal by Senior Vitaly. Unfortunately, unable to follow it through just yet, but that's why Fusy's there. Pass off the backboard, shot maybe from AutoCAD. Not quite. He's going to play the corner instead.
Luby taken away with some speed, looking at an empty blue net right now, able to get the second touch on it just to push it across the goal line. Team Flux coming out with some vengeance here. They're thirsty for the win. Gets the demo to boot on Senior Vitaly as well.
Yeah, I wonder if Luby heard how harsh I was coming on him after that first game and a half, because he has turned on right now. A great solo play straight down the middle. It's like a completely different Luby. No, wait, there's the Luby we all know and love. Misses that one, but it does set Ari up for a banger of a shot. However, the greatest goalkeeper in Rocket League, aka that top crossbar, is there to make that save.
Yeah, the crossbar never moves. It's always in the same place, and it's always gonna stop that ball for sure. As they come around to the orange corner, coming out, Luby in the mix once again. Hungry kind of staying back on defense, being that reliable third right now on the rotation. Ari and Hungry, somewhat of a double commit there, but Hungry does take it away, recognizing Ari didn't quite have the angle on it, and getting some speed, looking for that double tap, not quite there.
Yeah, Hungry, unfortunately, unable to follow through, and now Ari going to go for a bit of a solo dribble. Doesn't get it past that last defender, but tight offensive rotations means the attack will continue, and I'm loving seeing that bumps as well. This is why Flux is kind of my favorites in this one. They're more willing to push forward. They're more willing to challenge everything.
On the
Luby
goal line
nearly gets one of the most insane goals we have seen. However, it's just not quite there, and that will lead to a counterattack.
Counterattack coming here from Fuzzy to begin. Hungry and Ari, once again, they're somewhat of a double commit on that orange back wall. They gotta watch that, as it could come back to bite them.
Yeah, they need to be very cautious right now. Fusey going to put that shot on target, but unable to follow through just yet. Luby, again, trying to get the clear, but now we're starting to see those similar tight rotations actually coming from the blue side. Senior Vitaly doesn't get the flick he needs, and Ari able to steal it away. Fusey, though, going to keep that pressure on, playing himself into the corner. AutoCAD unable to catch it, and Ari on the counter might have himself that open net. Again, top crossbar tries to make the save, but Luby will punch it through, and it is 2-0 in favor of Team Flux.
And both of those goals coming from the nose of that Octane of Luby, putting Team Flux up by 2, putting the pressure on, getting triple commits, getting a little sweaty possibly here. 2-0, 2:39 remaining, coming into the face-off. Triple commit's gonna win that one back, but Ari going for a beautiful flip reset shot. Senior Vitaly gets demoed, but before that, beautiful save on that flip reset.
Yeah, absolutely. As again, ball bouncing around in the box in no man's land. I love seeing mech plays like flip resets, especially when used correctly, and I love seeing dunks that lead to breakaways. Ari makes it 3-0, and things are definitely looking so strong right now for Team Flux.
You gotta kind of question Senior Vitaly's mentality there, if you will. Going for a flip reset in midfield when you're the last person back. If you don't nail that, that's what happens. 3-0, Team Flux.
Yeah, Team Flux just in full control of this game right now. Hungry going to rotate back, try and find that next touch to initiate a bit of a clear right now. And that's a miss from Senior Vitaly. And yeah, as you were saying, you know, uncharacteristic plays starting to come into play for triple commit. And as a result, they're not creating those same opportunities that they had in the first 2 games. They're going to have to find a way to sort of regroup for themselves. Otherwise, this is going to be a series loss and, in a way, another upset.
Yeah, another upset for sure. And right now, it's do or die. It's 1:43 left. It's time to get some goals. Trying to get some balls in the back of the net here. 3-0 deficits, 1:30 as we're approaching. They've got to make a move quick.
Yeah, they absolutely do need to make that move right now. AutoCAD trying to pass it to the middle of the pitch, but again, rotations are in effect right now. Team Flux always in correct position. Ari in particular is working his way to an MVP on this one. He is the one who gets the initial dunk. Luby just has to get a touch to get that ball right back to the middle, and Ari will punch it right on in. 4-0. Ari, an absolute monster. I believe that was the hat trick goal. Okay, not quite, still one away, but he might get it at this rate.
Ari with 7 shots, and with that 4th goal, that's what I like to call the insurance goal for Team Flux here. They're up by 4. That almost starts putting the nails in the coffin. However, the final nail in the coffin for Triple Commit is not quite there yet. Still a minute remaining. If they get something going in the next second, maybe a goal on this rush right here, they can start to mount a comeback. But Team Flux keeping the defense up and keeping the boost in their tanks. And another goal here from Luby. That's going to be the hat trick, and a demo from Fuzi on to Luby. A little bit of frustration coming out from Triple Commit, it seems.
Yeah, that's probably the goal that's definitely going to ice this game as well. You saw Triple Commit actually starting to triple commit right there. They're bringing everyone down, desperate to get those tight offensive rotations, find those quick goals, but that does leave you exposed at times. I'm not going to fault them for implementing that strategy at this stage, even though it led to a pretty easy counterattack goal, just because that's what you have to do when you are down 4-0. As it stands, 5-0, 40 seconds remaining. Big congrats to Team Flux as they find yet another goal in this one. 6-0 now. Yeah, they're going to the semifinals, and they're going to the semifinals feeling very good.
Very, very good. Hungry, obviously chatting to his team, feeling a little left out with the goose egg there on the goal mark. He said, pass it over to me. I need one.
Yeah, exactly. You know, share the love. Share the love. Everyone get on the board right now. It's turning into a feeding frenzy at this stage. 33 seconds remaining, and we got to start looking, I feel like, at these semifinals right now, because more best of threes, trips to the grand final on the line. Just taking a look at how some of these teams match up. I mean, especially these latter two, the two games that you got to bear witness. Do you think, you know, this second semifinal is going to be an absolute banger? Because it looks like it's going to be the two fastest teams going against each other in our second semis.
I'm definitely excited to see how that game is going to shake out, but I'm going to call it. Team Flux is my favorite as it stands right now. Team Flux has got my vote.
That was a cheeky little 0-second goal right there from AutoCAD as we watch that replay. A nice touch off of the wall. We'll find that ball lobbing in. So they're able to get one on the board. That cough, though, kind of reflective, it feels like, almost of the effort Triple Commit put in that final game. Just a complete breakdown from them defensively. They couldn't get that sustained offensive pressure down, and it will be a Team Flux victory. Ari, 9 shots in that. The man was just absolutely, or woman, I'm not too sure, we're not going to assume genders here, was absolutely everywhere on that pitch. So very well played from Team Flux. A good semifinal initiating performance. We will get to see them again, but for Triple Commit, unfortunately, their tournament ends here.
Yep, Triple Commit is unfortunately out of it. But once again, nothing but absolute respect from each team here in the Rock League chat. GG's all around, and just complete class act. Although, you know, all good things must come to an end, and Triple Commits couldn't get the triple win there up against Team Flux with that bit of a rivalry that they've had in the past. Team Flux finally gets in. They got to be feeling good, as you mentioned. They're going to be feeling pretty confident moving into the semifinals.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have every reason to feel confident as they move on to that semifinals. That second semifinal is actually going to be a banger. And I will say right now, whoever wins that one is probably going to be my pick to win this tournament. But we still have to play these games, and we still have more matches yet to come. I do believe we will be taking a quick break. But then when we return, it will be time for semifinal number 1. It's going to be a case of Zero Empathy taking on Take Flight. So that's going to be an exciting game when we return. Do not go anywhere. More Slips Rocket League when we do come back.
Alrighty, and hello everyone. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a takeover as of now. Oh, it's not working. Hold up. Hello everybody. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of a stream takeover for now. I'm Felipe, just here to provide some entertainment while we are here on the break. Here we have some Lethamirs rings for you while we wait up. While we do this, I am gonna point out a little announcement that's going on right now. We are currently hosting a giveaway for some titanium white Zombas and all you have to do to enter is type in the Twitch chat which 3 teams were tied for first place in Group B. So first person to type that will get some white zombas, and Hussein will go in and message you whenever that is ready. Currently just waiting around, and it looks like we're gonna be joining in soon. Alrighty. And we're gonna be switching over to our ads. Thank you very much.
A new kind of league is debuting this year. Your favorite Rocket League stars and some new faces put it all on the line in order to win the championship. Join the league as a player. Get recruited. Get paid for your efforts and drive your team to glory. Or how about buying a team? Put together the ultimate roster and trade your way to success. You can tune into our shows on Twitch and control what happens next on the Slips platform. It's all happening this year, and we're giving away 50,000 SLCC tokens and a $700 million airdrop. Join us. Check out slips.gg for more information.
Don't hack away at your family jewels. The Lawnmower 3.0 is designed to prune your plums without giving you cuts and nicks. There's no need to bludgeon your sack with a nasty old razor with Manscaped.com.
Okay, so are you gonna see him again?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Well, we hit it off at first, but his jokes were pretty corny. But he was just so charming. I don't know. I went home with him and things were getting spicy.
Well, sounds like a pretty good night to me, girl.
Oh my god, shut up, let me finish.
Oh my god.
Don't get cock blocked by the squirrel in your pants. Trim your unruly bush with the new Lawnmower 3.0.
5, 4, 3, 2, that's time. I got to you.
I'll let you intro, Dodger.
And coming back here from that short break, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. Coming up, semifinals coming up soon here, and getting hyped for that soon. The teams
Yeah.
that we have online are
It's going to be Zero Empathy and Take Flight. Going to be going at it. So that's going to be a fun one for sure. Both of these teams did get pretty solid wins in their opening quarterfinal matches. Granted, Zero Empathy, that team that I was a little bit concerned about. I didn't feel they were aggressive as they're going to have to be, especially against the likes of these other three teams that we've seen. So very curious to see how this one will go.
Yeah, for sure. Zero Empathy and Didn't Ask coming up soon. Let us know in chat who you think is going to be winning that one, guys. I caught a little bit of that quarterfinal matchup. However, this will be the firsthand action I'm going to be seeing from these two teams.
Yeah, this is going to be definitely a fun one. Take Flight did pull off that upset against the defending champs, Didn't Ask. So they've got to be feeling pretty confident with that. Zero Empathy, however, we're the only team actually to get that 2-0 victory. So in that sense as well, they could be looking pretty strong. I'm excited to see these teams go at it. We can see cars starting to load back onto the pitch right now. Some names that I'm going to be watching for sure, Blez being one of them, had a fantastic showing on Take Flight. So I'm going to be focused to see if he's going to be able to continue that momentum. Zero Empathy on the other side. Well, again, they actually played pretty well that solo game, to be quite honest. So I want to see more team play from them. If I remember correctly, it was always, again, sort of very deep rotations leading into solo plays. And at times they were able to sort of mech their way into a couple goals. I'm not sure that's going to work against Take Flight. So I don't know who's going to step up for them. I don't want to see any individual step up. I actually want to see that team play.
Yeah, a lot of team play is, what's going to have to start to happen here. I mean, we're getting down, semifinals. We're getting down to the best of the best here in the bracket. And individual plays possibly aren't going to be working here soon. So, I mean, those beautiful aerial shots that we love seeing, those ceiling shots, those flip resets, those individual plays coming out of the zone, dribbling all the way through the field, possibly isn't going to be working here in the semifinals. So you gotta continue to use your teammates. Don't forget they're on the field. I mean, I love seeing the passing plays more than I like seeing the individual plays. So I'm looking forward to see if these two teams can bring that type of play.
Absolutely. I mean, we already know Take Flight can. The big question is, will that be matched by Zero Empathy? As we're still waiting for the players to jump on the pitch. As soon as they get that okay, we will be kicking this one off. Again, these are going to be best of threes in the semifinals before we get to our best of 5 grand final. Every match will be streamed here today. So definitely getting into that nitty gritty moving forward. I'm really worried for Zero Empathy in this one. I know they had that 2-0 victory. I know in that sense, they've almost, you can make the argument they've looked like that strongest team, but I just liked what Take Flight was able to do a bit more. Now, granted, they did have kind of a cold start. They did take a while to warm up. So if Zero Empathy can maybe take advantage if a similar situation plays out, they might be able to hold on to some early momentum. But if anything, I'm actually going to be predicting a 2-1 victory for Take Flight.
2-1 victory for Take Flight. You heard it here first from Formal putting his predictions out. Once again, you know what? I'm gonna match you on that. Take Flight 2-1, but maybe a sweep. I mean, that would be a huge upset. But I mean, given the talent of these teams that you've described, that you've seen thus far, that doesn't seem very likely.
Yeah, but I get things wrong sometimes. I can't say I'm perfect, just nearly there. So hopefully Zero Empathy can, throw a bit of fight into this, prove me wrong. I love being proven wrong, actually. That's it's always a lot of fun because you don't want predictable tournaments. You want, that element of the unknown. And we did see 3 upsets. So if I were to go with my predictions so far in this tournament, actually, I'm 1 for 3. So I haven't really been picking the winners thus far in this. Definitely could be a losing trend. It's a good thing we're not on salty bets right now, or I'd be all out of my salty bucks at this stage. If you are aware of what salty bets are, kudos to you. If you're not aware, check them out. It's a lot of fun.
Any moment now, the players should be loading on to the field, onto the pitch.
We've got a caller. Someone.
We've got a caller.
Oh no, I've been split in 2. Oh, all right, there we go. Onto the pitch we go. A little bit of a yikes situation right there. That's okay. I just believe it is another caster joining us by the looks of things. I'm not sure if we will be revealing him now or after this semifinal. Ooh, mystery. Either way, though, more players slowly feeding their way in. I'm excited to kick this off. Honestly, I'm getting very antsy. That energy drink really starting to come into play. So hopefully we will be kicking this one off super soon.
Did you just chug that on the break, or?
I think we're still going. I think we're still riding with it right now. However, yeah, I can say, you know what? We will be going to hopefully run this. Here we go. Players are loading on. All
There we
right,
go.
finally. Look, we can only delay for so long. I can only talk about my obscure references until people just start to question, why is this guy even here? We are on the pitch. This is our first semi-final on the blue side. It's Zero Empathy. On the orange side, it is Take Flight, and we are kicking this one off.
Coming in strong off of that first initial face-off, Sir. Coming in off the ceiling, trying for that beautiful initial goal, but it's going to be blocked on by Blez. Blez was your person to watch, right, Formal?
Yes, he actually is my person to watch right now. Just because of how he played in that first series, Take Flight looked absolutely phenomenal as soon as Blez started getting those big touches. However, Sir.exe, he was that standout performer for Zero Empathy. They like to rely on the solo plays, and a lot of the solo plays that they were finding success on was by Sir.exe. So these are sort of those two stars that I'm going to see trying to step up. They're the two that are going to be going head to head. It's all about who actually makes more of those great plays between these two players.
Sir.exe and Blez, the ones to watch. Still got a 0-0 game right here as we're approaching 1 minute into game one of possibly 3 here in this semi-final matchup. Coming off of the sidewall, Sir looking to grab some contact with the ball, but Ghost throws one in just wide of that upper 90. A nice save from LJ on Blez. Coming back here into the orange corner and around and back into the orange corner. Ghost with it's looking for a ground to air dribble coming through for a ground pinch. A beautiful passing play. No one on that far side post to send it home and break this tie.
Yeah, if that shot's a little bit more accurate, we're looking at a 1-0 scoreline. A fantastic demo from Josu trying to set it up, but this is that aggressive take flight that I was hoping to see. They're willing to throw everyone down that pitch to sort of force these plays, will them into happening. And if this side of Zero Empathy is not careful, they might get burned by those plays. They're going to have to be really resolved and resolute on their defense. Make sure they get those big banging clears, although Sir.exe, again, he loves going for those solo plays, and if he's able to get some clean steals away, that could turn things around in their favor.
Yeah, for sure. Kona coming in, looking for a beautiful upside down shot. Kona breaking the tie for Zero Empathy up on the board first, 1-0, and that pass is going to be coming from Sir.exe. 1-0, 3:04 remaining.
And that goal was really enabled actually by LJ, sort of the silent one, getting a critical demo in the goal right there. So no one was able to just get up and get into LJ's space. He had the proper spacing, he had the time, and if you can't make a goal when you're given it that much to work with, well, it would be shame on you. Fortunately, LJ is able to capitalize on it, and we're looking at a 1-0 lead for Zero Empathy.
Coming through here now off of the sidewall. A pass now. Kona is going to collect that one cleanly and dribbling it downfield. A flick. Sir looking for that double tap, but Pelez for a nice clear. Bounces into the orange corner. Kona going to be coming through looking for a ceiling pinch down in. LJ couldn't quite get an angle on it as Sir.exe coming around that orange corner once again and dropping down here to center field.
It's so interesting watching Sir play because he is very obviously a very mechanical and very skilled player, but sometimes I feel like he's taking shots that really have zero chance. And the problem is, yes, you know, more shots, sometimes you can draw the defense out, force bad rotations, but the shots really aren't that accurate enough, or I suppose that risky that the defense has to do much to make those saves. I feel like at times he'd be better off actually trying to set up pass plays for his team. Already we saw the pass play with the help from the demos from the team were able to find that goal, but instead, Sir, he's going to push forward himself. At that stage, he was on his own, so I'm not going to fault him for that attempt, but just very interesting to see Sir always look for the shot no matter the situation, where at times, perhaps he should be looking for that pass.
Sir did come in looking for a musty flick-esque style shot. Going to be blocked by Blez just a moment ago. Perhaps maybe the best opportunity for, thus far. However, they are up by 1.
They are up by 1. Ooh, Ghost putting one on target right there. Does follow through with that next touch. However, Josu cheated a little bit too far forward, and instead of continuing that offense, he's just trying to slow the pace. But LJ doesn't get the clear he's looking for. Here comes Sir again, trying to go solo himself, and now finds himself in no man's land as Blez is pushing the ball right back to the blue side of the pitch. both teams just sending one player at a time, it looks like right now, just trying to break the defense, maybe find a gap. But with so many players consistently playing in the box, it really just comes down to almost trying to bait them out. And you can only really bait out a defense by sending more members down. So I want to see these teams actually send 2 or 3 players down on that attack right now, not just one at a time, because otherwise we're going to get this stagnant sort of ping pong style.
Yeah, the speed is definitely up here. I mean, one thing I'm noticing about Sir, right off the rip here, watching his gameplay, he has speed. This man is flying around the field. He always seems to be around the play and there to make a shot. To your points, absolutely a very, very strong force here.
Yeah, he's absolutely been a player to watch on this pitch for sure. And he's someone that you've always got to keep mindful of. That said, LJ with boost, with the ball in the box, but he's not quite fast enough on that attack. 7 seconds remaining and one last opportunity for take flight. They have the ball on the blue side of the pitch, but it is Sir who gets that booming clear. Someone's got to be underneath it. That's not the touch you want, Blez. And it's going to be game 1 going to 0 empathy.
0 empathy coming out here with that seemingly innocent goal. I mean, I said it earlier, I'll say it here, again, Kona getting that seemingly innocent goal, but to your points, LJ really set that up with the demo, which really gave them the opportunity for Kona to get that kind of floating aerial there just underneath of the crossbar. Maybe the defense was of take flights, just didn't have the boost reserve to get up there and underneath of that crossbar. But Conan right there, as you see in the replay, behind the scoreboard there, just kind of gliding the ball and guiding it into the nets.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wasn't expecting a low scoring affair from these two teams, especially in game number 1, just because of really take flight's ability to sort of just get constant offensive pressure down. But credit where credit is due to 0 empathy. Their sort of like solo dribble style did kind of pay off in the end. So few shots on target because both of these teams were playing that defensive mindset. Let's just send one person at a time for the most part. And the one time we actually saw a critical demo at a key moment is the difference in that game. So I'm expecting to see both teams actually kind of try to ump the tempo, especially aggressively, maybe look for those tighter offensive rotations, because if you're finishing a game with 7 total shots between both of those teams, that tells me each of these guys are almost playing scared. I want to see those tight offensive rotations. I want to see the pace quicken a bit. Don't rely on solo plays. Solo plays are great for highlights, yes, but you're not going to win tournaments with them. So start to play as a team, get those tight offensive rotations, get those fast passes in the enemy box, and you'll find more success.
And as we kick off here for game number 2 here between these two teams, down here in Take Flight's corner, Blizz gets one out, but their Sir is going to be once again back all over the field. And seemingly he has a teleporter attached to his car as he's just flying around the map there when he's needed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how he likes to play. He wants all the boost for himself. He wants to make that big mech play. And LJ and Akona, well, guess what? You guys are just going to be supporting me in this one. It definitely feels to be the case a lot of the time. However, Kona is still the one who's going to get that clear. Jozu going to throw to the corner to try and slow the pace down. But of course, Sir is there. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sir is probably the best player actually on this pitch right now. And he's doing a lot that I like, especially when it comes to speed tempo. And he's the one who actually is going for the most aggressive challenges. However, he needs to also kind of work with his team, I feel like, at times. And if that's going to be a case of his team rising maybe to his speed, that's probably what he would prefer. But he can't keep going for solo plays. It's not going to work all the time.
Certainly, as Sir puts it off of the orange backboard. Blez there to meet him, takes it down the pitch, and coming into the blue corner, LJ with the 50-50, another 50 in between Sir and Blez going to be taken back here into the blue corner. A couple blue team members there, a little bit of a blue team meeting in the corner, but they're able to clear out to center field at least.
Yeah, the pass just not quite able to be caught by Blez as he kind of overcommitted for it. That said, still seeing more attack from Take Flight. A good play by LJ does get this offensive rotation off balance, and Ghost, instead of pushing forward, actually falls back a bit, but that does cause a double commit coming from the 0 empathy side. A chance for a shot, but Sir fast enough to recover and make that save.
Coming in now, looks like Sir puts one off to the blue sidewall here, and Juzo with a block. Blocking his own team's center attempt. Blez there to bring it in and coming through with a big aerial. Juzo there couldn't quite make contact with the ball. LJ, a big booming clear, but an easy block for Ghost as he calmly sends it into the orange corner.
Yeah, and here comes a shot attempt, perhaps. Oh, not quite going to be able to follow through just yet. Blez now with possession of the ball, going to dribble it down that corridor. Still a 0-0 game. Again, another game with very few shots. Actually, technically 0 shots recorded at this stage, just because of both teams' reliance on solo plays, relying on deep rotations, and patience on defense. However, we are starting now to actually see Take Flight start to creep forward, and it does pay off. So Kona is going to have to try and drop the ball in a good place, but it goes in the corner. Blizz actually going to let Josu push it forward, trying to find that first big shot, but Kona able to make that save. And yeah, we're seeing more strong rotations right now coming from Take Flight in game number 2, but if they might get punished, sure, going for that double touch, can't quite put it on target.
Yeah, 0 shots from each team. It just seems to be somewhat of 50-50 battles in each other's zones, you know, right in front of the nets. Not really a shot registered as far as Rocket League is concerned, that is. We might have a different opinion if there's been some shots, but according to Rocket League, no shots yet from any team member on either team.
Yeah, it's been super surprising, considering when you take a look at how those last 2 quarterfinals went down and how fast they were playing and how aggressive, just to see this slower tempo game. That said, that first shot from LJ is going to be good. He found the only goal in game number 1, and a 1-0 lead right now. Fantastic setup from Sir.exe, and easy catch by LJ. No one up there to challenge him, and the follow-through bump as well. Sir really made that one happen. Fantastic goal going into 0 empathy.
Yeah, I was just going to comment on that, sir. Really ensured that that ball went in the back of the net. If it wasn't for that big bump, it could still be a 0-0 game, but hold the phones. Blez is going to tie it up 1-1, 121. A quick face-off goal. Ghost gets it down the zone. Sir does get a demo, but not enough, as Blez is going to be able to find that inside post, tying up the game 1-1, 121.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great job by Blez to cheat forward right there, but really I'm going to give the credit of that goal more so to Ghost. If he had put that a little accurate, it would have been his way. It was him playing, again, along the corridor, finding that avenue that really set his team up. So fantastic showing from Blez right now. He's going to go up, try and catch the ball, but Kona is able to take it over the top. Good recovery by Josu. Blez finally, though, has kind of arrived on this game. He was one of my players to watch. Josu with the flick. Oh, top crossbar yet again. Why must you destroy dreams time and time again?
Kona with a smart play, a clear off of their own blue backboard. A follow-up shot here. LJ puts it in for 0 empathy. 2-1, 48 seconds remaining.
LJ again just coming screaming down the side off of a critical demo being put down, does equate to yet another goal. And LJ, he's got to become that golden striker right now. However, he's just the guy benefiting of being in the right place at the right time. Really, it's Sir.exe doing the setups, getting those demos, enabling his team now to follow through. That's something that he was lacking for the first game and a half in the series. And now that they're starting to play as a team, we're seeing a completely different 0 empathy. One that most likely is going to be finding themselves in that grand final unless Take Flight can pull off something amazing in these final 30 seconds.
Yeah, final 30 seconds ticking down, and LJ is not going to have any of that comeback talk here. 3-1 and now 25 seconds remaining. Once again, I mean, crazier things have happened. You know, Take Flight does have an opportunity, 25 seconds remaining, but LJ now with that hat trick. 3 goals on 3 shots and 1 save on his scorecard.
I think LJ was sick of me giving credit of his goals to other players, so he's just going to pull off a double touch to maybe put the icing on this semi-final cake right there with that one. Now, we did see a couple quick kickoff goals go in favor of Take Flight, but that's not going to be the case this time around. They need to score here, but LJ a bit too fast to stop that shot from Blez, and with 7 seconds remaining, the ball going towards the orange goal. I think that is it, and 0 empathy is going to be our first team in this grand final.
Juzo trying for it there, trying to get a goal there for their own empathy, but you know, 0 empathy are going to be the winners. GG's around in chat once again. I mean, all these players here in this bracket are nothing but respectful, and that's what we like to see here in competitive Rocket League play.
Yeah, absolutely. Love the respect and love the level of gameplay as well. 0 empathy. They're kind of becoming that dark horse of this team. Again, another prediction wrong, 4 wrong in a row, but that's all right. I'm having fun. I like being wrong because then you learn. And what I'm learning right now is even though 0 empathy doesn't play the style of Rocket League I like, they are still a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, for sure. LJ, once again, MVP of that second game here. 3 goals on 3 shots, completely accurate. That's all you can ask from him, right? I mean, he makes 100% of the shots that he took, at least for this past game, and that's all you can really ask. I mean, Sir, once again, really helped him kind of pad those stats with clearing the goal line of those orange players. But Zero Empathy takes it, advances on to the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm excited to see what this team can do in a best of 5. They haven't dropped a game yet, so they're definitely going to be favorites moving forward. That said, I have some sad news. Apparently, I read the casting rulebook. You predict 4 games in a row incorrectly. Well, you get the boot. You get kicked out. So that's going to be the last series for me today. Don't worry. I think we have more than a suitable replacement. I think a name that a lot more people here are going to be familiar with when we get back. Either way, I had a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me, Dodger. I really did enjoy these quarterfinals, and I do wish I could stay, but rules are rules.
Well, once again, Formal, nice meeting you, buddy, and you have a great evening or morning, whatever it is where you're at.
Look, I still got 2 more casts today. That's kind of one of the reasons actually why I do have to go right now, just because of the delays. Apologies for that. I did want to stay. Perhaps tomorrow, I'll be able to go the distance. Either way, I will see everyone then. We will be taking a quick break, and when we return, toast that isn't soggy is going to be here. So have a good day, everybody.
So we do have
Okay, so we
Toast
gotta
here
see
coming
what?
in, joining me here in the studio in
I don't
just
know.
a moment.
What do you mean you don't know?
Commercials. All right.
Well, we hit it off at first, but his jokes were pretty corny. But he was just so charming. I don't know. I went home with him and things were getting spicy.
Sounds like a pretty good night to me, girl.
Oh my god, shut up, let me finish.
Oh my god.
Don't get cock blocked by the squirrel in your pants. Trim your unruly bush with the new Lawnmower 3.0.
5, 4, 3, 2, that's time. I got to you.
All right, guys. So we do have Toast joining me here in the studio. How's it going today?
I'm not too shabby. Thanks for having me on. Heard there was a little bit of an emergency, so I'm happy to jump in. I was tuning into that last match of the semifinals, and I can already tell, as usual with Slips, this is gonna be a fun finals matchup we're going into. But we still have to go through the last semifinals match before we can get to the spicy stuff, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. So the next semifinal coming up here soon. So stay tuned for that. Let's see here. We do have, trying to look for the bracket here. Sorry, I misplaced it.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm looking for we're trying to get here into the lobby and get everybody kind of set up here for this next semifinals match. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties today in terms of the Rocket League servers, but I'm sure you guys know a little bit about that if you guys are Rocket League players out there.
Now, what I think is going to be, what I always look for is the teams who actually play as a team versus that they have their one, maybe two, standout show players. Was there any of that today where it was very obvious who was the well-coordinated team versus just, they had their star player and that's why this team won?
Yeah, I mean, within that last game, even though Sir was not the goal scorer, I mean, Sir definitely made the plays happen. I mean, bumping these, individuals that are sitting on the goal line, he really made some things happen. So I'm really looking forward to his play here in the grand finals. But we are gearing up. We got the cars on the pitch. We got Only Dubs up against Team Flux. So Ari, Hungry, and Luby are back from Team Flux. And we also have Mast Mass Washed, and CG from Only Dubs. Gearing up for the kickoff right now.
Now, I think it's always you talked a little bit in that last game as far as what you're looking for. At least you were expecting some high scoring, and right there we have one right off the bat. You were expecting high score, you didn't get it. Do you think that's going to be something we're looking for as we go into this next one?
You know, I mean, these teams are very, very competitive, and they seem to be able to adjust very well to their other team's play style. And you know, I was kind of hoping for some high-scoring matches, but I'm really liking the intense one-goal games that we're having here recently in these semifinals matchup, the last few.
And I think that's where you get that spicy sort of. That's where you build the intensity, and that's almost where you build those grudge matches where the teams start to remember each other. I lost to them by 1, where we barely beat them by 1, and those are the matches you remember for the rest of your life, no matter what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Coming in here now off of the orange corner. Oh, just a miss there from Ari as they are coming back with some force. Only Dubs. Mass coming in for a shot just high and wide there of the orange goal. Watch going to give it another shot very wide, a country mile wide there into the orange corner. And around Mass trying one more time. Empty net. Can he get the flick off of the crossbar? And it's cleared on out.
And that's a heartbreaker. You have something so close, and you just need to push it in one more time, and you just can't quite get it to just slide across that line, and it stings a little bit as you get pushed back.
It does indeed. It does indeed. Luby looking for a shot. Going to be off of the blue backboard. Couldn't quite follow up there with that double tap, but we come on in 1-0 now. 3:30 remaining. CG now chasing that ball here into the corner of Team Flux. Blocked away. Luby trying for a pass up the opposite side wall, and Ari coming in for it, maybe looking for a ground pinch. Oh, and just hits off of the post. You hate to see it.
And that's now twice where both teams have now had that chance where they're just so slightly there and just can't quite get it in. And I think you're going to start to see maybe a little bit more of that pressure and effort as we go in.
Mass here for Only Dubs, taking it into the corner of Team Flux. Wash has some options here. A flick possibly. Waited just a fraction of a second, a little bit too long, and Hungary was able to easily make that save, which resulted in a large clear into the blue corner.
Back against the wall there. And I think you're starting to feel, you know, still a one-goal game, and you're starting to feel these teams wanting to pick up even more. These teams aren't going to give up so easily.
No, not at all. I'm definitely from the games that we saw from Team Flux. They seem to be a underdog kind of story team, and they are kind of they've kind of captured my heart, and they've got my vote to make it on to the grand final. So hopefully, for my sake at least, Team Flux can find a goal here to possibly force some overtime. But that, oh wow, Mass with a huge save for Only Dubs.
You know, I would like to make some predictions, but last tournament that didn't go so well for me. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut and just let the players just make the show for itself. I'm not going to put my reputation and my knowledge at risk any more than it's already been damaged.
Coming out, oh, and a save there from Hungary. I believe that now puts Hungary up to 3 saves for Team Flux. He's sitting on top of the leaderboard for Team Flux. And as Hungary once again coming off of the blue sidewall, looking for his options. He sees a player midfield, but CG there with the save, which safely reverse takes it into the opposite side blue corner and buying some time and space for his team.
You know, you mentioned the 3 saves, and personally, you know, I've even played some defense in the sports that I've done in my life. So I'm a big fan of the defensive side of Rocket League right now. And you get somebody that can play goalie well, that's going to take you such a long way when you get into tough games like this one.
Yeah, for sure. And it goes more than just their mechanical ability of, you know, being that goaltender, being that third man back most of the time in the rotation. It just gives your other team, you know, other teammates the opportunity to know and the confidence that, hey, this is a ball which I may or may not win, but I know that, you know, my goalie's back there and he's got this. But not in this case, as Mass for only Dubs is able to sink one and make it 2-0 now, 37 seconds remaining. Now that starts to build the coffin here for Team Flux in game one, 2-0, 37 seconds remaining.
You know, not an impossible comeback, but definitely a difficult one. You know, time is obviously your enemy whenever you're behind, and right now you're just trying to scramble, and you have to break up that other team and generate something, some sort of opportunity to get that ball rolling, get it in the net once.
Oh, for sure, and Team Flux is definitely not letting up on the pressure here as they recoil back into their own defensive zone. A nice 50 win, a stuff from Mass, and Luby is trying to take it away, but washes away that opportunity, and it comes down in front, nearly in front of that orange net. 8 seconds remaining as we tick down. Possibly only Dubs going to be taking the first win here of this best of 3 series as the clock ticks down and touches 0, and as well as the ball touches the ground, only Dubs going to be taking game 1, possibly 3 here.
And you know, when you lose the first one, that's when you really have to show yourself as a team. When you're falling behind, can you push through? Can you be resilient enough that if you take a loss, you're not giving up? You're not, and you know, as we were talking about earlier in that same matchup, if you can take a loss but still come back and win it, if you can find the ways to adapt to a team that's already put you down once, that can definitely prove yourself to not only to your opponent, but all the other ones that may dare challenge you in the future. That's what really comes down to as a test, if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely want to, get that momentum once again, as we were speaking earlier. The momentum is currently on the side of only Dubs, but don't forget Team Flux coming off of a very, very strong performance there in the quarterfinals, and they gotta remember that energy. They gotta remember that, that chemistry that they had in those quarterfinals and bring it on here and see if they can make it on to the grand finals. I do want to point out, look at the shots from only Dubs here. 7 shots from Mass, 4 from CG, and 1 from Watch. I mean, that is an absolute barrage of shots coming into Team Flux. So maybe that is the strategy here from only Dubs. Just keep firing at the nets and hope a couple go in.
And you know, we've seen that from teams before where it's just pressure and pressure and pressure and pressure. And if you're just pushed back to the point where you can't get anything going because you're so busy trying to just defend your own side and get out of your own zone, then yeah, I mean, it can work. The only thing I think you have to make sure that you're careful of in that scenario is that you don't put yourself so out of position just to take a shot that might go in that you can't guarantee can go in. If you put yourself so far out of position and you open yourself up to a dangerous spot, then that's when you can risk yourself. But you just have to be careful about that. It can be a good strategy though, like you just saw.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, boost comes into play when those barrage of shots are coming. The defending team gets boost deprived. At some points, you might have to sneak out there to center field and grab that 100 boost pad or go around and collect the pennies and just hope for the best and just hope to weather the storm and get it on to that opposing half.
And I think now we're just now I'm in it. I'm in it now. I'm just ready to see this this game too, and it can only make me even more excited for the finals. It's just all uphill from here. Downhill, whichever one is positive for you. People flip it around.
Looks like we are moving on over to a different lobby here. Let me hop on out. Sorry about that. I missed that notification. Let me hop on in. Once again, our beautiful Rocket League servers. So we are going to be here on DFH Stadium as we roll in to game 2. The players are in the lobby here getting ready to get lined up on the field and get ready for this initial face-off. So we do have CG Mass Washed on Dubs up against Ari Hungry and Luby on Team Flux. And Hungry is my player to watch. He or she is able to really get into the play and really get into the mix and make some interesting touches, interesting plays to make some things happen and open it up and see some spaces on the field.
And if you've watched Slips in the past, if you've watched some of these tournaments, these names are going to be familiar to you, like Mass and Zernite. And these are definitely the people like you're talking about. Nice save there, but it's interesting to see how these players not only develop as we go from tournament to tournament, but how they start working together with their teammates and how they develop new strategies throughout each match.
Coming in now here off of the orange sidewall, now into the corner. Ari trying to work with it, does have a little bit of boost to work with as he takes it there into center field, loses it Hungry. A pass over to Luby. Wash takes it all the way into the orange corner as it rolls around. Ari forced to make a stop.
And that ball, as it goes into the other side, I like to also point out the players that can really use the air to their advantage, because obviously it takes some skill. I think we've all had that first time Rocket League experience where we're just like, you can play in the air, you can play off the wall. How is that possible?
Oh, wow.
And I think there is a good example.
What an angle from CG there. Able to pick it up, going the opposite direction of the ball, able to flip that Octane upside down, get that soft touch off of the tires, and a completely unexpected shot for Team Fluxer. I think that really caught them off guard.
And that's exactly what I was just trying to talk about. I mean, when you can control the air so well to the point where you can manipulate the ball in a way that the team doesn't even know is possible, at least in that moment, right there, we might have another one. Oh my goodness.
Big save from Wash, keeping his team in the lead right now. Mass dishes it over to Wash here. A little bit of slower gameplay, trying to slow it up a little bit. Loses it. I think he's looking for that delayed flip out of that corner, but Mass is coming in. Oh, and the dunk. Mass puts only Dubs up by 2.
And they tried to have that block there. Hungry just bouncing off the wall. Another save right on the line, but Mass with that huge pressure able to force it in. Gotta give some credit there.
I thought the play was lost there as they initially came there into that corner. The delayed flip play, just kind of fell to the wayside, and I thought Team Flux was going to be able to grab possession and take it away, but Mass recovered and so was able to get a goal out of it.
And, we got 3 minutes left. You still have some time to recoil and regroup here, but you can't let them have any more chances, or else you're just going to lose total control.
Oh, for sure. And we definitely are seeing this momentum shift here, but Flux is keeping up the pressure. Ari with a nice half flip there, trying to keep possession, and a nice play. Just a simple grounder finds the far post, bottom left of the net, putting Team Flux on the board. Ari battling there with 2 players from Dubs in the corner and able to find one.
And like you said, that was a nice little half flip there. Is able to just keep the momentum, as you were saying, on their side, get a little backup from your teammates, and those are the plays you need to create. If you can create more of those opportunities, you might find yourself coming back sooner than you expect.
2:31, definitely plenty of time for Team Flux to find another one, force some overtime, or maybe take it. Oh, and there was a great opportunity there, but Mass puts up the brick wall with a big save.
And that's exactly what I'm looking for as far as that defense goes. You need some strong goalies on that team, and right there is a prime example.
CG, a nice pinch out of his own zone as Hungry is low on a boost, looking to collect some as he is drifting around the blue box. So, a big miss there from Ari, which lets the ball soar here into the orange corner and around, forced on defense. Hungry was able to safely take it around to the opposite side corner. Just missing the touch there, Hungry was. That would have been a good look if you could have got that second tap around Mass.
And I think right now they've gotten one. Flux has gotten one. They're not trying to rush it too much. And I think they're playing a little bit safe right now in their own zone. They're just trying to see what they can create. They're not going to force it just yet, as they still have a little bit of time left.
Yeah, a little bit of time to work with. You got to think, what their mindset is right now. It does seem as they're, trying to just get a hole in the defense of Dubs here and see if there's an opportunity. Right there it is. Ari ties it up 2-2, 1:16 remaining. Luckily, Hungry didn't jump out of the way or try and panic there, because he was sitting right on the goal line and the ball just soars nearly over top of him.
And I think, like you were saying, you found that hole in CG and just got a little bit bumped off, out of position, didn't have the control, wasn't able to get back to cover the goal, and all of a sudden you have a tie game with just over a minute left.
Yeah, tie game now, and the chat was thinking that all hope was lost here for Team Flux. They were cheering on Dubs out here. So it is a whole new ball game literally right now. It's basically a 1 minute game, basically a 1 minute Rocket League game, right? So tied up here. less than 1 minute remaining.
You go into overtime, you're just going to start to sweat even more.
Only Dubs only needs one more goal here to seal their spots in the grand finals. Only Flux trying to survive, and what an angle from Luby. 3-2, 39 seconds remaining.
Let's just take a look. What a shot. See, and those, when you see those just when you're playing by yourself, you're like, oh, that okay, I didn't expect that, but it happened. And I think that we just had a little bit of a moment right there, and all of a sudden they've got the lead.
Yeah, for sure. CG just hit the ball a little bit too hard, lost possession in that blue corner, which opened up the opportunity for Luby, and another big save, but unfortunately not a strong enough clear, and Wash was able to clean up the mess and put it in the back of the net.
And you're back tied again. Why don't we just make it a 29-second Rocket League game if this is where we're gonna be going with it?
29 seconds do or die right now for Team Flux. They've got to find it or win it in overtime to continue this semifinal matchup. Could be an opportunity there. CG safely into the blue corner. A shot from another interesting angle there. You know, I think they're trying to go for the unexpected shots to catch Team Dubs off guard.
And right now, oh my goodness, just able to push it out there. And that might just buy them enough time. However, they got one more chance.
If they can come in right here, oof. A good block there, good defensive play from Team Dubs. The ball is still alive, Hungry looking for it, but the ball almost coming to a rest. It's still alive. Azari slings it around the blue corner and dangerously getting close here on the orange side of Team Flux. Ball's still alive here. It's been alive for about 15 seconds past over. Oh, and wow, what a lucky break there for Team Flux as we go into overtime.
That's got to sting a little bit. Right now, Flux, you just have to win this game. That's all you got to think about. Everything else has got to be off the mind. You're fighting for your life right now. Dubs, you just got to hang in there. Don't panic yet, even if you're in overtime. Just hold on strong right now and see if you can find that last goal.
Just a quick look at the scoreboard. We do have 4 shots from CG, 2 from Mass, 2 from Wash from only Dubs. And, and right there, we're going to end it 25 seconds into overtime. Washed is gonna find the goal. 2 goals to his name for this game, and we do have only Dubs advancing on to the grand finals.
And I think Dubs definitely able to get a good goal right there. They held on, they didn't panic, just how we kept talking about. They found the rhythm, they just held on to it. What I think is interesting to note is Flux. They had Luby there. He had 5 saves, which obviously a really good job. However, his teammates, not to say that they weren't doing anything on defense, but I think that shows that maybe they need to see if they could find a way to equally distribute that, at least on the defensive side of things, so that maybe you can open, because Luby, he also had the 2 goals. And you did see some good assists at the same time. His teammates were involved. I mean, Hungry has one right there. But I think that's where you need to find a way is how can you get everyone on the same level so that you're just equally distributed all around the field so that you're never out of position, so that one person is not having to make all the same saves and maybe even take all the shots. And again, not trying to diss Flux right now, but you got to find the way to find that equilibrium so that your team is able to hold up against a team like only Dubs, who they have it very well distributed across their entire roster.
Yeah, that is a very good observation, and the scoreboard does tell that story exactly, and that is what happened. So we are going to be moving on to the grand finals.
Now, Dodge, you excited?
Oh, I'm excited. We got 0 empathy and only Dubs here in the grand finals, guys. It was supposed to start at 8:50 Eastern time, but it's 10 p.m. right now. We're rocking it out still. We've been live for 2 hours and 57 minutes, but you know what? 0 empathy, only Dubs. Gonna be a very, very interesting matchup here. It is gonna be a best of 5 series, so keep that in mind, guys.
And I've always been one to love the finals matchups because this is where the magic happens. And I haven't been a part of the whole tournament since the start, so I respect that. I'm not gonna say that. You know what? I called it from the very beginning. I knew it. It was going to be these 2 teams in the finals. I just had a gut feeling, But as far as what I'll want to see from these two teams is who is going to be able to hold their composure. Already talked about it before, but now you're facing what is supposed to be the best of the best out of the entire tournament, out of everyone. You're in this moment. Don't get cocky, stay humble to yourself and remember what got you here, because that's what's going to get you that win in that final.
We do have a couple predictions here in chat. Looks like Ghosty and Lynx are saying 0 is going to be winning. But we'll see. I mean, chat, play along with us and let us know who you think is going to be taking the title and taking that grand prize money pot as well. I believe there is correct me if I'm wrong, I believe there is a $30 pot of winnings for the winners.
I mean, if anything, it might be bigger. I think it all depends on how much these players are willing to drop on it. Looks like, I see 125.
125.
We making bank out here. What am I doing on this side of the booth? I need to be down there on the field.
Yeah, I need to go to training. $30 for the runners up. That must have been what I've seen. $125 on the line. But you know what? I mean, really, if you do lose, you're still coming out a winner, right? So I mean, each player on the losing team is still gonna get $10. Of course, if it's split up equally amongst the players, I'm not sure how they will work that out at a team level, but $125 in the pot here for the winners of the grand final. If that doesn't motivate you to get some Rocket League, get some nice plays going, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the dream, to just make money playing video games? I mean, you're doing it here at Slips, and I'm jealous.
Yeah. My PayPal is, if you guys know.
I think we're ready to go.
We are ready to go. We got the cars on the field. We got Kona, LJ, and Sir, EXE from Zero Empathy. Only Dubs. You guys are familiar with them. You just watched them play, so they're hot. They're warmed up, and they're going to be starting out behind the 8-ball here. LJ's going to find a quick one 3 seconds into the match.
And that can be a killer sometimes. You give up a kickoff goal and you're like, well, oh no. But sometimes it can be a lucky one. Not trying to say anything, but definitely don't let a kickoff goal decide the whole game from here.
Sir.exe is my player to watch here in this grand finals. I've seen some beautiful plays come off of a Makona right there off of that far side post. Is Wash with a beautiful pass to Mass. LJ tilting that car, making a save, and a calculated save, which puts it safely into the blue corner. Another huge save from LJ.
I think right now I'm loving LJ. Oh, but they're able to find it right there.
You hate to see it. The own goal. You're your own worst enemy out here sometimes. Wash throws it in. Ooh, Sir, and I believe that was LJ trying to go for the same ball there, and ended up getting an own goal.
You can make as many saves as you want, but if you have to play against your own team sometimes, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, just a miscommunication there. I don't know. I was not at their camera angle, so I'm not sure if they were able to see each other. They're just trying to, both help their team out, but unfortunately ended up own goaling. Wash coming in, looking for it.
Even with an own goal, I that's another thing. Oh my goodness! You know what? I think I'm seeing your player of the match right now.
Yep, that's the player to watch for me right there. Sir, he just absolutely look at that rotation there. Smartly grabs the boost, rotates behind the play, able to read that rebound and put it in the back net. 2-1, 3:55 remaining.
And that's a shot for all of Zero Empathy now, and I think you might be seeing a little bit more of that offensive side. However, still tied at 3 on both sides right there.
Demo nearly on the ceiling. A little bit of confusion here. Who's going for the ball? LJ with the speed. It takes out the sidewall, looking for an air dribble, maybe a delayed flip. Just missing a nice simple play, riding on the goal line, and that's going to be a goal from Kona, putting up Zero Empathy 3-1, 3:34 remaining.
Now,
nice bump there.
Only Dubs, this is where they're getting a taste right now of how Zero Empathy is playing right now. And you're starting to see that they're getting aggressive. They're starting to put that pressure on you, and we saw that earlier. So now, Only Dubs, they have the job to react and adapt. And I think that's what we're going to have to look for as these next few minutes go on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, as we came into the match, only Dubs is warmed up, you know, so they do have that benefit going for them. They have just played. I believe Zero Empathy, they were probably, you know, in the, you know, training or whatnot, keeping their sticks fresh or the keyboard fresh, whatever they choose to play on. But only Dubs coming out from an actual, you know, competitive match, so that might play to their favor here on the goal line. Washed puts it in 3-2. And only Dubs starting to mount a comeback.
And that's a nice redirect there from CG, and he kind of has to chill in the goal at that point, wait for his teammate to back him up after he sets it up there. But that is a great redirect, and anytime you can shake up the defense like that, beautiful job there to get him back within one.
Certainly, certainly. As that are coming around the orange corner, Sir sends one center a little high and wide for LJ to do too much of anything with it as they're forced on defense. LJ and Sir both on the same side of the pitch. Oh, and CG was open for that play, but unfortunately not on target. Kona, nice flick up. Sir looking for a double tap, gonna be wide.
And I think you might notice that only Dubs is really aiming for that pass across and look for the back post play. I mean, and it's already kind of worked twice. And I think we might look for that as they look to pull the comeback here.
And Zero Empathy definitely has to look out for that as well. Make sure they have someone on that backside post. You know, it kind of comes back to that classic hockey play, the 1-2, you know, coming for that backside post so that goalie can't stretch across the goal mouth and make that save.
Working out of the corner and just have to really be composed there. Is right now, I think only Dubs is trying to see if they can hold on to the pressure, even stealing a boost right there.
Oh, and that's a big play right now. Kona unfortunately flips away from the ball. That I believe that to be a pretty big opportunity, but Kona maybe had a larger plan in mind, and maybe Sir says, you know what, I got this. You go over there, grab that boost, I'll set you up with this beautiful pass. Nicely done, and you know, they're gonna get that cross goal mouth play right there going on.
We were just talking about for only Dubs. Zero Empathy's like, maybe we should try that. Maybe we should give it a shot. And hey, I guess it works.
147 now as the clock is ticking down. CG trying to center it up. LJ with a little bit of stylized aerial pass over there to Sir, but not enough power or angle on that ball.
That's a big demo.
That could result in a goal, and it does. Washed is putting his team within one here, 4-3, 130 remaining. I'm really liking how they are playing. Only Dubs, that is. I'm really liking how they're handling this deficit, playing from behind. They're handling it very, very well. They're not, you know, biting too hard. They're not really biting on any sort of fakes or you know, pushing up too hard, overcommitting. They're really, really handling this game well.
And that was a big hole to create, and like we've seen, they're just creating the holes, and right there, it's all back to an even game. 121 left.
4-4, 121. The patience there from CG, and just drops it down to Mass. And LJ, I think, was expecting CG to continue to carry that ball, maybe go for a double tap, but dropped it down to Mass, and somewhat of an unpredictable play from my angle, at least.
Oh, they decided to give a demo back, and I think that's. Personally, I feel like demos are underrated sometimes. Some people only usually talk about bums, but if you can demo a person, I mean, you're taking them out for, even if it's only 1 or 2 seconds of the game, that is sometimes all you need to be able to generate something.
Oh, of course. And to boot, it spawns them on the opposite side of the map, and we got CG absolutely dominating that shot, making it 5-4 to the first lead here for only Dubs in this game 1, possibly 5 here in this grand finals matchup. Guys, get some love and hype in the chat. $125 prize pool here for the winners. Who do you think is going to win?
Right now, I think that you are seeing the peak of 2 teams. Only Dubs coming back. Notice it's together. Each one of them has at least 1 goal. And not to mention Zero Empathy does at the same time. Everybody's taking shots. Everybody's making saves. Everybody's making assists. These are pure and prime team organizations right now. And you got to keep an eye out for that. Only Dubs, they want more, I think.
For sure. That was a good-looking pass down there to Mass coming through the center field. A nice touch from LJ. They have those interesting angles off the sidewall. Kona is going to take that gift-wrapped pass and just put it in the back of the net there. Easy goal for Kona.
The excitement. This is only game 1. We still got at least 2 more after this, and we're tied with still 30 seconds left. And I mean, it does not get any better than this when it comes to a Slips tournament.
And we got a shot in, and that's what the grand finals are all about. The two best teams going on. This is what we like to see, a tight game. We don't want to see a blowout. We want to see some competitive Rocket League, and I think you guys are getting exactly that right now. Oh, and another aerial demo. Kona, again, back-to-back goals for Kona. LJ pops it up high. Kona going in for it, gets demoed in the process, but you know what? It's in the back of the net. 6-5. Zero Empathy takes back the lead.
11 seconds. It's going to be tough. Let's see if they can pull it off.
Gonna be tough here. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
That's about the final nail in the coffin, if you ask me.
Yeah, you had to take the chance, though. I mean, if you are only dubs, you have to take that chance. You have to try and make the, the play here with just a few seconds remaining. You're gonna lose either way, right? I mean, if it's 7-5 or if it's 6-5, you still lost. So you have to take that chance. But it does look like game one is gonna be going to Zero Empathy. Zero Empathy takes game one.
Now, I think what's important to notice here, as the scoreboard goes up there, I mean, 7-5. Sometimes if you only look at a scoreboard, just in that final score, it doesn't tell the whole story. Because I mean, you look at the stats. You got double-digit shots for both teams. So I think that shows the offense is just stellar right now. Everyone's taking shots. Everyone's getting involved on the attack. However, only dubs, not one of them made an actual save. And that's because I think when you watch them, their strategy is, if they were in their zone, it was mostly clears. But that means no one is on the back end of a shot. No one is getting in front of any of those shots. So Zero Empathy, if they're taking shots, that means it's off target. If there was no one saving it, and if you're only able to rely on shots that are missed to win a game, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. They almost had it. They almost able to outscore, but we always hear, the best defense wins championships. And right now, only dubs, they need a lot more of it. You get just one or two, you get two saves, maybe three, whatever it is. All of a sudden, you're back in it with Zero Empathy.
Yeah, very, very good observation. Again, once again, they're on the scoreboards as we go here into game two. The players are getting on the field. Once again, here, guys, Zero Empathy and only dubs facing off.
And I think right now, I think that's the thing to look for. Only dubs. Can you be reactive on the defensive side? Don't let Zero Empathy walk all over you when they're taking shots.
It's going to be a shot from Kona, going to be off of the orange backboard as it comes across to CG. And Sir EXE on defense. They're coming off of his now ceiling. And LJ trying to find Sir with that momentum pass, but undefended blue nets. And Washed is going to be able to find that goal. 1-0 for only dubs. Taking the lead.
I'm wondering if that was a little bit of a miscommunication. I think that was Sir that was going over the middle. And I think one of his teammates, as you're saying, LJ, got to it first. And so he almost was just left flying dead stick there and out of position, which then leads to your open goal. I think he was the last one back on that play. And now all of a sudden you're down one.
Yeah, that play off of the ceiling was a little awkward as they try to get out of their zone. And that's kind of what was the recipe for disaster for that goal. Coming up high now. Looks like Mass is trying to clear it there into the orange corner. LJ trying to center up. CG's going to be with him, but very low on boost, only 3 remaining. And as he's waiting on the boost pad, trying to kind of guard that area to continue to defend his nets. Blue team is not going to slow down on their attack, though. LJ in surge, trying to make something happen as the orange team now has boosted. Appears and are coming out for a formulated attack into the blue corner. It sails and a center up. Sir with a block there. I don't think he was credited with a save.
I think they were looking for that 1-2 play again. That time, Zero Empathy, I think, was a little bit more ready for it. I think they're starting to expect it a little more now, which means if you're only dubs, you're going to have to change it up at least a little bit if you're going to get by them.
Sir coming off of the sidewall now as it bounces down off the ceiling somewhat quickly, and that's a huge clear for Mass. But Sir is back on defense, tries to clear it out here to center field. At least LJ, a nice ground-to-air dribble over top of the defense. A big demo there, and we have a tying goal from LJ. 1-1, 3:19 remaining.
Another demo to create some space. LJ doing a good job to just settle that ball and trap it down. Almost lost it. It was almost too good of a settle, but just really good ball control right there from Zero Empathy.
Once again, Sir.exe, that player to watch, he's the one that made the goal. I mean, even though the scoreboard doesn't say it didn't come from his car, but if that demo did not occur, that goal likely would not have either. Sir.exe now, ooh, maybe he was trying to go for a fake flick there. It looked like almost fooled the defense. And over here now off of the ceiling, Sir.exe has a shot in, but a slow one, easily blocks. Mass dangerously in front of his own net, bounces on the goal line. The blue team tries to pounce on it. Zero Empathy, that is. And Washed trying to get it out here for Only Dubs.
Another sigh of relief for Only Dubs, but they can only have so many. You're reaching the halfway point. You're still tied up. Find what's going to get you separated. Find what's going to get you that space so you can start taking shots. You cannot have those opportunities given up to Zero Empathy.
I mean, it really seems to be Zero Empathy all over the field. I mean, Zero Empathy definitely has the momentum, definitely has the control of the game. Despite the 1-to-1 scoreboard, I believe they have the control of the game right now. Oh, wow. Big save.
A little bit of a funky play. I think you had about five players wondering who was going to make the first move on that. And then Mass came in with the shot.
Off of the back wall now and into the corner. LJ with a nice clear, looking for Kona, I believe that was, but got a little turned around from a bump.
Trying to find that center.
Nice shot. LJ calmly takes the ball, steals the boost from the orange team. I think a couple players are looking for that. A pass here to Sir, possibly. Not quite there. Sir tries to send it out here to Kona, tries to settle it a little bit, but a bounce does occur. Kona still with it. A shot gonna be wide. The orange team, and now Only Dubs trying to formulate an attack. A 50-50 kind of pops here in center field.
If you look at what transpired with that Zero Empathy play, like you saw, tried to settle it in the middle for his teammate. Oh my goodness.
Kona, a force to be reckoned with. Kona, when Kona is on, Kona is on. I'm telling you, what a nicely placed shot. Just enough speed to make it past the defense there as well.
I'm sure if that ball goes anywhere else, that's a save. That's a save for Only Dubs. And it's that shot selection right there, especially from such a complicated pass. I mean, that speaks true to why Zero Empathy is able to get themselves in the lead right now.
2-1, 45 seconds remaining. Zero Empathy could possibly be going up by 2 in this best of 5 series, as Only Dubs is trying to make something happen here. LJ just kind of hanging out on the goal line, gets a little confused with the types of plays that are coming towards the net here, and that seems to be a little bit of a fluke there from LJ. Got kind of just kind of left frozen on the goal line.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with LJ there. I mean, I think he wanted to go back, and maybe he just double tapped a little too fast, but something happened. Like, controller disconnected? Question mark. I'm not sure what went down there.
Too sweaty. Too sweaty. Controller slipped. It's the only explanation. Coming now, Washed on his own and trying to do something. Or Washed does get a demo on Sir. That's gonna play in favor of the orange team if they can keep it in that zone. 10 seconds remaining, tie game. We could be seeing some overtime here in game 2 as Kona is looking to end it in regulation. And a big clear from Mass goes over LJ. If he had one more second, that would have been the win. But we're going to overtime.
Ooh, that one you're going to remember. But now this is where you really test it. Who can show up in overtime? You get a reset, and that was almost a dangerous one right there. But you get a reset, and off of that, can you find your momentum again after it slows down for that second?
Watch coming in, looking for a double tap for himself. Oh, just missing it, but a shot from Mats. 18 seconds is all it took. Only Dubs gonna take game 2, and we are all tied up in this best of 5 series.
That's a beautiful shot from Mass. He had enough power in it, over 100 kilometers there. and you get the speed behind it. And when you're that close and you got a lot of defenders around there, that's the kind of shot you need, and that gets you that tie up in that series. One thing I want to notice in only dubs, as they get this, they now have their saves on the board. They got some saves there. They made a few defensive adjustments. Zero Empathy, they were making saves across the board. They only had one this time. And I think now you're seeing the flip side is where Zero Empathy didn't have as much defense as only dubs did. And now all of a sudden it's tied up in the series.
It's all tied up now. I mean, as far as Rock League is concerned, the only save came from Sir, but I mean, I saw LG, I saw Kona, in the defensive half, and making those needed blocks. I mean, right there, Sir, just as you saw behind the replay, as I'm sure you can see, but the chat cannot. That was a save as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it would have went in.
And I'll agree with it, because there's sometimes I'm like, game, that was definitely, I mean, that ball would have gone in if I wasn't there. Hello.
Yeah, for sure.
But what I think those saves speak of is that only dubs is picking it up in that defensive section, and that's what they needed. And I think right now it's working for them, and they weren't focused so much on the shots this time. They went way down as far as shots, but that means that they were finding the time, they were finding the more control rather than just taking shot after shot after shot after shot. And again, it can work, but only it has to be done in just a specific way so that it's successful.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like our server went down for maintenance. So we're having once again a little bit of technical difficulties. Chat. Let's turn to chat. We haven't really talked to chat very much. Let's see what chat is thinking about this series. What are your predictions, guys? I mean, I see a few predictions out here so far. It looks like Dexter is saying Kona is a bigger goat. And Hamburger says Dodger's a giant goat. TV Dracula, only dubs takes it. And how many games do you think, Dracula? 3-1, 0 empathy, Dexter says. Hi, Hamburger. Only dubs is literally in the name, Cab says.
3-2. It's gonna be a nail biter. I wouldn't be surprised if it went to game 5. Honestly, I see that as a very realistic possibility.
And that's exactly why it's a best of 5, because when we get to this high level, I mean, just a simple move, right? I hate to keep coming back here to LJ's mishap there on the goal line. That was seemingly, at this skill level, I would expect LJ to be able to grab that save, especially with the gameplay that I've seen from him today. That's the difference. It possibly could have went to overtime. It possibly could have been a different story, and we could have possibly had, Zero Empathy up by 2.
Yeah, everything matters, and those are. And like you said, when you're at the skill level, almost any mistake is a one that just sends you down to the losing column. Because when you're playing at such a high level and you're playing against such talented players and with talented players, that it's almost a formula, and there's almost, there's a new norm when you're in bronze from all the way to GC. There's a new norm as far as what needs to be done. And as soon as one part of that puzzle falls out, your whole game can be changed in just a second.
Yes, that is very true. GT Pop wants to know who we think is going to be the MVP overall of this whole tournament. You know what? I really have my eye on Sir.exe. I mean, not just off of these past couple games, but with the games leading up here to the grand finals, I've seen some amazing plays from Sir.exe. He might not be MVP as far as Rock League is concerned, but he makes those behind the scenes plays that just make things work, that just make the ball get into the back of the net. And you know what? That's what makes a winning team. It's not always fame and glory of who has, the most goals on the scoreboard. But in my eyes, keep an eye on Sir.exe and those bump plays and demos that he makes to make things happen.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. However, if I may, at least if Zero Empathy is going to be the one to have the MVP, I right now, at least from my first impressions, I know you've seen the rest of the tournament. I didn't have that privilege today, but I got to go with LJ, because I just really like, despite the mistake.
Yes,
I like what LJ style has going right now. I mean, I've seen some really clutch saves, and I've seen some really good ball control, and that can lead to so much potential. You can do so much when you have those two things on your team.
For sure. As we come in here now to game 3, facing off, it's going to be LJ and CG on that initial face-off. Excuse me. Coming down here into the blue corner. Kona missing that ball there. Luckily, didn't cost them a goal, but not yet. So able to make that block, but taken by Washed and around.
Some early pressure here from Dubs. Just look at it. Oh my god.
And CG able to get that golden goal, the first goal on the board. If you score first, I mean, you're more likely to win. So we'll see if only Dubs can continue this.
I mean, that's, in a way you might call that luck. In a way you might call that perfect shot placement. Regardless, I mean, it's in there. It crosses the line, and you almost have another one right there. Only Dubs, I think they might be feeling some mojo right now.
A little bit. You know, they got the momentum. They're feeling it. You know, it's all tied up. They definitely know that this is winnable, and they've got a couple more games to go through this, and we'll see if they can keep up this gameplay here. I mean, Mass is definitely a player to watch in my eyes as well. Mass is a very, very mechanically talented.
Yeah, I've seen Mass and Zernite working for a while through these tournaments, and every time that they're on the field, I'm excited to see what they do. Like we've talked about before, I mean, they only grow. You can only get better, and right now, this dynamic duo, they put in some work and almost pay their lives for it right there.
For sure. LJ getting demoed, or sorry, I forget which one it was, but Sir coming in for a shot and ties up the game, making a 1-1, 3:39 remaining.
That's a good goal to get back right here. Sir, as you're talking about him, he shows some good composure, is just able to barely flick it over. And that's, again, that ball control that you need on your team, and just good composure right there. And he holds up, gets the tying goal.
Coming here off of the sidewall now, LJ a touch to kind of keep it floating in the air. Kona sends it off backwards off of that orange sidewall once again, kind of fighting here in the orange corner, and as CG gets it out, nicely done from CG. It's an individual play, possibly blocked there by LJ.
And I think almost any individual play is going to be so hard to pull off at this point. You almost need to have a team play drawn up with any sort of attack right now. You have to catch the team out of position if you're going to make anything happen one-on-one or one-on-two.
Indeed, for sure. LJ makes that half-flip block, and oof, big save there from Kona. As it comes into the blue corner and pops out here to center field. LJ recognizes he has a little bit of time, works with it. So Sir takes it away. Kona left on defense, but LJ's back there now with full boost, waiting for it to drop down, trying to pop it up to himself. Going to be wide of the net on this attempt. And Sir here bangs it off that orange back wall, which only takes it back here to his own zone. And a opportunity here for Wash, trying to delay that flip. Another shot in. CG, second goal for him, and a second goal for only Dubs, putting them up by 1 at 2:26 remaining.
One thing I really like about this play is Zernite is just focused. He uses the last bit of his boost to just force it into the middle, and he just tries to be there for the rest of it. And by doing that, he's still able to set up the play. You'll see sometimes as soon as somebody runs out of boost, they'll give up and just be like, "Oh, I got to go get more." But he hangs in there, and right there you get another one.
Right there, watch Zernite able to put the orange team up, put only Dubs up by 2 now. 2:18 remaining. Sticking with the play, as you say, just he recognized that, you know, a couple of blue players are going to be on the line, and just recognized he had to kind of hammer that one home, and it ended up working out for him.
You might almost call that a little bit too much patience from LJ there. He was really trying to just control the ball, and Zernite was like, "No, still just play. I want to play. To give me the ball back," and he just bangs it in right there to give him a 2-goal lead.
Kona looking for that double tap off of the orange backboard. Not quite there. Kona dealing a demolition to Mass as watch Zernite comes in for another shot, sticking with it all the way to the ground, trying for LJ a big clear into only Dubs zone, and off of the post. Watch Zernite, a nice clear, a nice play here from Mass, a big save from Kona.
you're going to need some more saves. Right now, Kona's made the hat trick of saves. Call him a savior. And then LJ got 2 under the belt as well. Only 2 registered shots, at least as far as Rocket League's concerned. They're going to need a little bit more.
Coming out of the blue corner here, Mass trying to keep it in this zone and try and work down the defense. LJ able to bring it out to center field at least. Washed and Mass switch places, trying for a air dribble shot in, but going to be blocked on by Kona. Register with another save. That's 4 saves for Kona now.
This Zero Empathy team, they're holding on as much as they can right now. You got 2 members with more than 3 saves. And Sir, he doesn't have any saves, but he's making all the shots. You're going to need to get more. You're going to need to get more shots up on the board right now as you're losing time.
Yeah, 3 shots from Sir. As they come down, watch Zernite, a nice redirection towards that blue net, but not quite enough. And to increase the lead, but that one might be Mass finds the back of the net. For the first time this match, goals all across the board for the Only Dubs team.
You know, I really wonder what's going through this Zero Empathy team. I feel like I'm watching a whole new finals team all of a sudden. This is not the same team that I saw in the last 2 games as far as I'm concerned. Zero Empathy, I'm not sure if it's the mistakes that happen or if they just feel like the goals that they've let in were at least not as earned as they should have been. But right now, Zero Empathy, they've lost some of their pizzazz, if you will.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Maybe this game just isn't theirs to win. I mean, with 13 seconds left, it's definitely a long shot as they're trying to try some new things out here. Maybe in the last couple seconds, try out a couple new things and see if some of these different tactics work. You get warmed up for the next one. You gotta put this one behind you and move on.
So that's 2 for Only Dubs, and one thing I think that they probably really enjoyed is that they didn't have to make too many defensive stances. I mean, they only had to, at least according to the scoreboard, they only had to make 2 at least on goal saves, and the rest of it was just clear. Now, to be fair, Zero Empathy had a couple moments where it was off the post or off the crossbar. It was really just a powerful shot, but Dubs was right there. So they were. What that says is Dubs was there when they needed to be. The rest of the time, they're putting the pressure on you. And right now, Zero Empathy has to force them out of their zone. They have to regain that control of the field right now. And they definitely didn't have it in that last game.
For sure. We do have Zero Empathy facing elimination right now. It's a best of 5 series, so 3 games wins it. So Only Dubs possibly on the verge of taking this one in a 3-1 fashion and winning that $125 prize pool.
Right now, I think as we go into this next one, Zero Empathy, they've got to have a serious talk right now as we get going in this last one, because this is the moment. This is what writes history, and it's written by the victor. And right now, Dubs, they've got the pen and paper. They just need to start putting the words down.
Gearing up here for game 4. Game 4. Players are on the field and getting ready as the clock is ticking down now, coming into the first initial face-off here of Game 4. It looks like the blue team is going to be winning it back here. Kona attacking the ball, but Mass is taking it away. A shot in, Sir, with a block to the side. Not a save, but a block. A little bit of a bump there. Comes down CG. Ooh, blocked out by Sir. LJ making the save that time. He makes that awkward kind of save. Awkward kind of shot coming in. Not an awkward save on his part, but a kind of a awkward angle shot.
You might notice some early opportunities again. This is what Dubs did last time, is they were just getting some early opportunities going, and Zero Empathy, they're going to have to clap back pretty soon here, or else, at least before it gets out of control again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as we did touch on there in that last game, the first team to score is more likely to win, and Only Dubs scored first, and they won the last one. So we'll see possibly if someone takes which team takes the first goal, if they advance on.
Minute gone, and I think that's at least good news for Zero Empathy that they haven't given one up yet. LJ is showing a little bit more of that control. And I think right now LJ is just trying to focus on at least letting his teammates find some space, find a play that they at least want to make. LJ's just like, I'll hold it and wait for one of you to come in and get it from me.
Coming around the orange corner now, Kona gets it ripped away by Watch Their Night there. So with a little bit of space, but loses the ball. And Mass, nice pass over there to CG, but LJ with the block. Kona drifting out from the blue sidewall there. Watch Their Night trying to stall, wait for a teammate. Blocked out and cleared back into the orange side.
And I think right now this is more of what. This is a good sign for Zero Empathy, because right now, despite the chances for dubs, you know, they're still holding on right now. You still got the tie game. At least right now, obviously, you still got to put a goal in the back of the net if you want to get yourself a W. But you're going to have to, you can consider this right now a step in the right direction as opposed to last game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're definitely keeping up the pressure here. Still a 0-0 game. Nearly half of the game has ticked by with 0 goals. Definitely some pretty even pressure coming from each team here. A couple opportunities for each team, but so far, no goals as Sir comes off of the sidewall, takes it into the orange corner, and Mass is looking for some backup here. Ball kind of bouncing awkwardly off to the side of the orange nets. Sir with it here, low on boost, 0 in fact, and it's kind of hanging out in front of the orange net. Mass and CG able to clear it on out. CG 0 boost.
You know, one thing to notice is there hasn't been any jaw-dropping sort of play setups or anything like that yet. This has been one of the quieter games of the series. I mean, only 3 shots for dubs and 2 for Empathy. Only a couple saves having to be made on both sides. I mean, this is definitely one of those more relaxed games. No one really doing anything, at least out of the box kind of setups right now. And this is definitely just a calm environment in a way for both teams. You're just waiting for someone to make that push, that final punch to get the ball in the net first.
Yeah, for sure. And someone needs to step up, you know, with this kind of game. You know, someone needs to take charge and make that ceiling shot, make that flip reset. Possibly a stylized shot might be what's needed to break this 0-0 tie. A nice flick there from LJ over top, but doesn't continue to carry it on. But a good pass to Kona from LJ. Once again, kind of didn't really go anywhere, though.
This is just tough. I mean, this ball is going everywhere. This might be one, though.
1 minute remaining now here in Game 4. We do have Only Dubs up by 2 right now. If Only Dubs can take this one, the tournament is over. But Zero Empathy trying to hold on. They have to get this win if they want to force a game 5.
40 seconds. And I mean, if I had to guess, the players are at least starting to feel a little bit of intensity. However, Zero Empathy, I mean, you got to remember. Oh, there it is.
LJ able to find that goal here for Zero Empathy, putting them on top here by 1. 33 seconds remaining. A couple orange players around the net, but couldn't quite make the save. And we did have that goal from LJ.
Again, I didn't see what the rest of the tournament looked like, but right now this seems to have been LJ's game so far. I mean, 1 goal, 2 saves, 5 shots. Just got that 5th one right there. Really trying to help create the opportunities. However, this could be something a little 2-on-1.
LJ handled that nicely, puts it and finds Sir there on the right-hand side, and now looking to set something up, taken away by Mass. Kona's there for backup, retreats back for some boost or for a defensive position. 5 seconds remaining. Dangerous location here for the ball as far as Zero Empathy are concerned, as the ball is still alive. 0 seconds remaining, though, as it comes down quickly into the ground. And Zero Empathy is going to take game number 4, and we're going to be forcing a game 5.
Now, that is a much better performance from Zero Empathy there. That's what you definitely needed to have happen, especially after last game. I mean, that was a pretty commanding victory by Only Dubs. I mean, they were comfortable. They were just able to set up almost anything they wanted to, take any shot that they, that they wanted to just fire on goal. But right now, Zero Empathy able to get some of that control back. They didn't do anything crazy. They didn't really at least go anything. There was nothing that made you go, "Oh, they're gonna try that now." It was just pretty calm and collected Rocket League is what we were seeing. Only Dubs, I think they were humbled a little bit after that last game with this one, and now you've got you've got a game 5 coming up, and that's exactly what some of us at least were expecting. At least when you look at the chat.
Yeah, for sure. And Zero Empathy doubling the shots coming from Only Dubs. Only Dubs in total had 4 shots, and Zero Empathy with 10 shots on that game. Gearing up here for game 5, guys. Let's get hyped up in the chat. Get some emotes in there. Let me know who you think is going to take game 5.
This is it. This is those moments you're looking for. Zero Empathy versus Only Dubs. This is your chance to hold up your own trophy, at least the trophy that you imagine to be a Rocket League championship. Whatever it looks like to you, that grand final, this is it.
I think it's going to look like a $125 check for one of them. Coming in here now, it's going to be off of the blue sidewall. Sir, back in his own defensive zone, goes up for a huge aerial across the whole field. Easily stopped by Mass and controlled on that sidewall. Look at that technical ability Mass has there on the sidewall coming through. That ball had quite a lot of speed on it. Mass was just able to catch it sideways on the wall and calmly take it out. But Kona is able to find the back of the net 30 seconds in. And we do have a 1-0 game. Kona absolutely on fire throughout this whole grand finals.
You know, Zero Empathy, I think they're feeling pretty good after getting that win back. They realized that they definitely, all hope was not lost, and they get the first goal there. And you've talked about, statistically speaking, you know, it's already in your favor. Now you just got to hold on, keep playing like this, and you can be walking home with that $125.
Coming in here now, it's going to be off of the blue backboard, and they're looking for one. Only Dubs trying to find the equalizer as they recoil back, and it looks like Zero Empathy is going to keep the pressure up. A little bit of confusion possibly here from Only Dubs, as all 3 of them were in that same orange corner. Ooh, very, very close shot there as Conan's able to recover very, very easily there for Zero Empathy and get it out of the zone.
LJ almost had that bounce off the back off of him and into his own goal, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to relive anything like that again. So I'm pretty sure he took a big sigh of relief after that play.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely don't want to see that happen, especially in a game 5. And if that is the cause for the loss, yeah, you can't help but kind of beat yourself up for it. So luckily that was not the case. LJ coming through, looking for a nice aerial, looking for a delayed flip possibly. And Sir trying for losing the ball. Kona pushing up pretty far as LJ is going back for defense.
Now that was either LJ dropped the ball unexpectedly or his teammate was just a little bit out of position with that play. Nonetheless, miscommunication. You're going to have to cut that out. This is not the time. Like you're saying, it's game 5. You can't have that happening here.
No, not at all. Not at all. LJ is looking for that center, Sir. A big demo there on Mass. Is now 3-2. While they're responding, another demo from Sir onto Wash, trying to get creative here and make something happen. 1-0, 2:45 remaining. Zero Empathy up by 1 here in game 5. Wash Sir Knight sends it off of the ceiling, and Sir still with it, trying to make something happen, going for those bumps once again, and trying to get that second goal to give themselves a little bit of a buffer. Mass with some speed down the sideline, and we do have Wash in the middle waiting for that pass, but taken away a little bit. CG up in the air to keep it in the zone.
You know, just passing that halfway point. They still got some time. Only Dubs doesn't have to panic just yet, but they're going to have to find something. They need to find some opportunity they can take. Right now, they don't, at least as far as Rocket League thinks, they don't have a shot on the board right now. At least not one that's been on target. So they got to find that offense almost right there. Mass has really been trying to do some work, but they need some more attacking plays going right now.
Oof. Well, I think that one counted as a shot there. I do believe, yes, a shot there for CG. It was recorded. So we're coming in, and they're starting to get that offensive moving, and they need to do it pretty quickly here. 1:40 remaining. It's getting down to the wire. Blue sidewall now as a Mass tries to send it around and make something happen here for Only Dubs. Wash Zernite. A big pass there to CG. He can make it happen. A nice bouncing play, but a save from Sir.
I think just not quite enough power on that last shot there. definitely a good play setup. You just need more oomph and almost a chance there. There was that big demolition, that hole they tried to create. Again, just a good defensive stance by Empathy, as Dubs just not having enough force, but I speak too soon.
Mass, a beautiful play there. Got a demo, if I'm not mistaken, coming around a little bit of a individual play. He said, you know what, I'll take this into my own hands here, and we'll tie it up, making it 1-1. And now 1:06 remaining game 5. We're shaping up to be a very exciting finish.
Now that is a beautiful job from Mass, working from the wall to just carry it in, no assist needed, and just really, that was literally just full and just power that drove that ball in. And you got to give Mass credit there.
CG almost finding another one there from almost a miscue pass, but Kona, once again, in the typical Kona fashion, which I've seen so far today, the upside down aerial coming in for a nice goal.
Kona and LJ getting that nice setup, and that's what you're looking for. And Zero Empathy doing a beautiful job in responding quickly. They didn't let that goal affect them. They said, well, we're going to win this, so no matter what you do, we're just going to get it right back.
As Mass comes around the orange corner right in front of the net, Kona trying for another one of those fashioned upside down aerials. A big power shot coming from LJ, unfortunately wide of the net. Kona looking for that follow-up shot, sir, and he's going to find it, making it 3-1 at 28 seconds remaining. With that insurance goal, a team play there. LJ gets it in the zone. A nice pass to Kona. Another redirection, and Sir is able to find it finally and make it 3-1.
Beautiful job from Empathy. Now they just need to hold on. Don't need to do anything silly here. Just hold on, play smart, and you will have that championship. Dubs, you're going to have to start taking some chances that you haven't taken all night.
20 seconds remaining. It is do or die right now. They need to make some plays happen, and quickly. Coming off of the orange sidewall now, 8 seconds remaining. Only divide the Zero Empathy team from winning it all, and it's looking like they're gonna have it as it's back here in Only Dubs zone, and it touches the ground. We're gonna have Zero Empathy are gonna be your tournament winners. Congratulations to Zero Empathy.
Now that, I think, is what we talked about that a little before that 5 match even started, is just being resilient. Zero Empathy took a pretty big loss to Only Dubs there, 4-1, 3-goal deficit. I mean, that one can hurt a little bit especially when you know you have to play the team. You have to play them a couple more times at least, and the fear in your head is, oh, what if that happens again? If they just keep rolling over us like that. But Zero Empathy, they didn't like that. They said, no, we're going to take this back. We know we can win it. And they didn't give up. And just like we were talking about, it's those teams that were holding on like Zero Empathy did. That's why they're going to be able to host up that $125 right now.
And once again, Zero Empathy doubling the shots coming from Only Dubs. We did have 8 shots coming from Zero Empathy and just 4 coming from Only Dubs. So just as you were saying during the gameplay, Only Dubs has got to get some shots on net. If the shot's not on net, it's not going to go in. And only really, 4 chances, unless there was, a weird bounce or a weird angle off of the wall or crossbar pinch or something, right? It's not going to go in if it's not on target, as you were commenting on.
Yeah, and I think we started to see that a little bit. That some of their shots didn't have enough power, or the plays weren't as clean as we'd seen in the past. It just they didn't have that same pressure, and it was enough for Zero Empathy where they were able to calmly handle almost every situation that was thrown at them. There was never really a moment where they were panicking, making a quick save or a quick clear out, because any ball that was in their defensive zone, they were almost able to just settle. If not Only Dubs was accidentally clearing it out on themselves, trying to bounce it off the back wall or something like that.
Yeah, definitely a exciting series. I'm very glad it went to game 5. I mean, very, very skilled players on each team, obviously. So, I mean, it was a great series, I thought. I hope you guys had fun watching, chat.
Happy to be a part of it. But if I'm not mistaken, Dodger, I think we still got at least we got a draw coming up, and then the 3rd place match right after this.
3rd place match after this? Is it best of 3? Or is it?
I think that's going to be the best of 3. That's going to be between Take Flight versus Team Flux. They're going to be fighting for that 3rd place prize. And then, but before that, they're going to have they're gonna have the draw.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. So they'll be doing the draw. I believe you'll see a couple familiar faces for the draw, and then you'll get that third place matchup. But what a finish to the tournament! I mean, I was only there for the semifinals and the finals, and we and we got to I got to see that. I call that a win for my day, if you ask me.
For sure. So yeah, a third place matchup coming soon. So I believe we will be getting a private match set up here soon, but we will be taking a short break. So stick around here for the third place winners match. I believe that's going to be a best of 3. So stick around. We'll be heading to a short break.
A new kind of league is debuting this year. Your favorite Rocket League stars and some new faces put it all on the line in order to win the championship. Join the league as a player. Get recruited. Get paid for your efforts and drive your team to glory. Or how about buying a team? Put together the ultimate roster and trade your way to success. You can tune into our shows on Twitch and control what happens next on the Slips platform. It's all happening this year, and we're giving away 50,000 SLCC tokens and a $700 million airdrop. Join us. Check out slips.gg for more information.
Okay, so are you gonna see him again?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Well, we hit it off at first, but his jokes were pretty corny. But he was just so charming. I don't know. I went home with him and things were getting spicy.
Well, sounds like a pretty good night to me, girl.
Oh my god, shut up, let me finish.
Oh my god.
Don't get cock blocked by the squirrel in your pants. Trim your unruly bush with the new Lawnmower 3.0.
5, 4, 3, 2, that's time. I got to you.
All right, and we are back here. Here we have the tournament best of the rest draw going on. It seems like we've got some really good teams over here. We have Cold-Blooded Killers, the Three Stooges, UMass Arnhurst, Nitro Esports B, No Mercy, The Outliers, and Elevation Gaming. So we'll get started right now with the very first draw of the day. And it seems like it's going to be the Three Stooges versus UMass Arnhurst. Both teams have shown incredible performance. It'll be an exciting matchup to see. All right. Second match, Cold-Blooded Killers, against Nitro Esports B. A little bit of a gap in the ranks, but shall be an exciting matchup to see. On to our next matchup, we will have The Outliers versus Elevation Gaming. And for our last match, which we can already see it will be, of course, No Mercy versus Nitro Esports. So make sure to tune in at 7 Eastern Time, if I am correct, tomorrow to watch these games. It shall be an amazing matchup, and I'll be sending it over to our casters GJ, which is subbing in for Toast, and they will give us some breaking news.
Ellie,
No
let's see.
idea.
Okay, there we go. There we go. My serious apologies. There we go. Now we're into something. Now, anyways, we're back, and we have the Slips Team News Bulletin, emergency bulletin, straight from the boss himself, Hussein. He's received word that, ladies and gentlemen, we were going to have a third place match featuring Take Flight and Team Flux. But Take Flight have decided to bow out of the match. They have forfeited, which means Team Flux will, of course, take third place.
Yeah, and as I was just saying when the audio was muted, was that I just think it's respectful for them to bow out and not kind of play the matches and throw it or just give up. So it is what it is.
Yes. Yes, at the very least, by all account, by what little I know of what happened, it seems to have been a respectable forfeit, which is good. Sometimes you gotta bring in that GG. Sometimes that GG comes in early. No worries there. No shame in that. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing Take Flight take play in the future tourneys. Same for Team Flux. Now, speaking of future tourneys, we've got word from the boss himself. Another Slips Team News Bulletin. Anyways, I'm having a little fun. It's late at night. The next tournament will take place on the 20th of June. That's right, the 20th of June, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Registration will begin tomorrow. That's right, folks. Registration will begin tomorrow. So make ready. So speaking of tomorrow, we got the Best of the Rest tournament to look forward to. You guys just saw the draft for it. You guys know who's going to be playing who. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. The previous Best of the Rest was wonderful. It was a great tournament. Dodger, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it was wonderful. I'm looking forward to the next Best of the Rest tournament, which will be tomorrow. Yes. Let's see, did I?
Sorry, I did not see the other one, but I am looking forward to it. So I will jump in if I can. But I just want to thank you guys so much for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed my commentary, and possibly see me around soon.
Now, a big old shout out to the entire Slips team, to everybody who had a hand in making this work. ABK, Dodger Gaming, of course. We got Belly bringing in that stream management. Shout outs to him for filling in for me. Okay, and also big thanks to Hussein for making all of this possible. And let's see, I'm going to remember Toast Tactics for subbing in when we needed a sub for commentary. Big thanks to him. Always happy to have him. Always happy to have the Slips team coming in to help out. Now, let's see if I'm remembering properly. Yes, Formal. one of the other new caster. A big thanks to him for helping us out at the start. Whew. Now, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all so much for coming. I truly appreciated you watching the stream. It was a bit late going, but we managed to make it awesome. It was a great, great stream. Tomorrow, best of the rest, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there. It's gonna rock. It's gonna rock. So with that being said, this is GJ and Dodger Gaming saying thank you for watching. We're gonna bring it into a video to make sure that we're gonna end this off on a usual Slips note, which is always a good note. Good night, everybody.
All right. Thank you. Cheers.
A new kind of league is debuting this year. Your favorite Rocket League stars and some new faces put it all on the line in order to win the championship. Join the league as a player, get recruited, get paid for your efforts, and drive your team to glory. Or how about buying a team? Put together the ultimate roster and trade your way to success. You can tune into our shows on Twitch and control what happens next on the Slips platform. It's all happening this year, and we're giving away 50,000 SLCC tokens and a $700 million airdrop. Join us. Check out slips.gg for more information.